Are we live? We're live. Oh my
That's
God.
right.
Let's start. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Tour Life. Today is Tuesday, August 26th. Joined, always by Julie. Gary's here with us, and PDJ Mike, which might come into play with we might finally talk about some new PDGA rules today, maybe. I know Gary's been chomping at the bit to get our opinions on them. But Yuli, how's it going, brother? Gary, welcome.
It's good, man. Back in the home state of South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Mowed the lawn this morning. Feeling
Nice.
pretty good. Feeling pretty good. That's what I do. I get home and then I have to mow the lawn, because if I don't, then I'm not really home. You know.
What kind of mower are we talking about here? You got a push mower, or you ride?
No.
You got a ride?
You know the one that can just. Oh yeah.
I want to get one of those European mowers that you just set out and it's just a robot guy and it just
Those
goes
are nice.
down.
Those are nice.
Does that actually work well though?
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Yes.
For good things.
I think me and Ezra saw those for the first time in where were we? Norway, maybe, I think.
Yeah, they love them.
And it was crazy because they would go to their little homes.
Yeah, they just go charge up.
Yeah, they go to their little homes afterwards. Are we good and live? Everyone in the chat can hear us. Everything good? Sounding good?
Ran out of gas. That's the worst, buddy. Oh my gosh, so many times.
Tough times.
Yeah, mine's kind of old, so every time I do run out of gas, I just think my mower's donezo. I think
it's really
the last. Yeah, it's
good.
Pretty old.
All right, perfect. We're good. Good. All right. Gary, how's it going with you?
It's going pretty good. It's going better for me out in here than it is out there. My wife is conducting her first ever solo fantasy draft without me. And
what?
Oh my!
You know, she's doing a good job. We went down a few ground rules, no picking kickers and defenses until the last two picks of the draft, and a couple other important things. But I think she's gonna crush it. She's gonna crush it.
Yeah, I'm glad that I got out of fantasy when I did.
No, there's never anybody who's glad they got out of fantasy.
I am glad.
No, you're not. You're just putting on a show.
No,
you're putting on a face.
No. Because it takes so much time. It takes, like, I can't play fantasy football where I know myself. I can't just draft a team and then just pop on every I guess you guys go on Thursdays to change up your lineups. I can't do that. I'm on the waiver wire. I'm scouting. I'm watching games that I never would watch. I'm doing all that stuff, and I'm glad I didn't get locked into it, because I think when you're locked into it and you're with a group of guys, it's so easy for, like, next year. All right, guys, we're running it back. It's so hard to get out of that, and I'm just thankful I got out of it when I did, because I would be spending so much time doing it. I know myself.
4 years ago, I was in 12 leagues at the same time, and I was commissioning 3 of them. And at the end of the year, I was so burnt out. I didn't even want to watch football at that point anymore. And I said, I'm leaving fantasy. And it's been 3 years and not playing, other than some advisement with my wife's draft and a couple of her picks and stuff. I haven't been doing fantasy, and it's been kind of relieving.
I did 12 years when 12 teams when I had the ACL tear. So I was stuck on the couch, and I was like,
fine. Yeah, that's
12
fine.
teams. It was the best year ever too, because I couldn't do anything. I crushed all my leagues. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
We had a league that was modeled after the NFL. So we had 32 managers, and you drafted a whole team, including defensive players. It was a lot to keep track of and manage.
No.
I mean, that's how you get burnt out. I mean,
yeah,
I do have a dynasty league that I've been involved with for a very, very long time. I drafted, Josh Allen and Terry McLaurin, and I gotta, seeing these guys grow up, manage them very well.
Yep. I can't pick Deuce McAllister anymore, and that burns me.
Yuli, how was the tournament for you? Very good finish, 14th place, very solid.
Yeah, it was good. Just kind of been chilling the last couple tournaments. Nothing great or spectacular, but very solid all the way through, which I'm happy about. My mental game was really, really good, which is the only thing I've really been working on. Like kind of just staying like even kill and not really getting angry. I got a little bit angry the first round, which is impressive because that course you can get angry quick.
Yeah.
With the way that course lays out and throw a lot of good shots and not have a lot and be out of bounds a bunch. But I felt like I kept my wits about me and just stuck to the game plan. And I got a little angry on the last hole. I threw a really great drive. I knew what position I was in. I knew that if I birdied, I would probably most likely take a top 10.
Dang.
Yeah. And I laced it all the way down there, and the spotter told me it broke his heart because there's that last stump down there, and it kicked me right, and I just had to pretty much pitch out and take the par, and that sucked, but that's the way the tour is nowadays. One stroke, was I think the difference between 8th and 13th.
Yeah, it was really impressive to see how much Paul and Gannon kind of separated themselves. Obviously, Cole had a phenomenal final round, shooting 12 under to kind of get himself a little bit in the mix there, birding the last 4 holes. But really, midway through, like 6 holes in, it was pretty much, all right, Paul or Gannon's going to win this tournament, which is pretty impressive because in years past, there normally isn't that big of a separation. Normally, a lot of people are kind of in the mix, and a lot of times it comes down to, 5, 6 guys, how they're going to play 16, 17, 18. And this year, it was by the time that Paul and Gannon got to 16, it was pretty much a done deal that was going to be one of those 2 guys.
Yeah, you kind of got that feeling going into the round 2. Kyle might make a push because he's been playing really well, but you would think that a course like that, there's a lot of 2-stroke swings, but with how high the level is these days, like there's not a lot of mistakes even being made at that course, which was very surprising. I mean, yeah, I went 8 or 7, 8, 8, which in years past, that's like in the mix pretty much for the final day. And I wasn't even sniffing anything. So just the fact that like people were avoiding the bogeys, and that's not everybody. I mean, you go down the list and a lot of good players miss cash, a lot of names, but
I think that final round was great to show kind of how Idlewild is. It had there's 2 holes that jump out at me, and they were actually back to back, and it was hole 12 and hole 13. Hole 12, Paul saws off his forehand, goes into the stuff on the right. We've all been over there. That is the worst place to be on that hole. He somehow found a high gap, but we all know, Yuli, there's not actual gaps there. He was just chucking it through trees.
Yeah.
And it could have very easily hit something, dropped straight down, and he would have the same shot, or heck, it could have hit and gone 50 feet deeper into the trees, right? And now all of a sudden he's trying to play for bogey at best, probably. But he made it got through, he got up and down, and then the very next hole we got to see Gannon throw an errant shot, get a terrible kick left. Over there's terrible. I don't think people even realize how impressive that second shot was. I know Perkins was trying to do a decent job of like explaining how tough that shot was, but people don't know, like he had to hit a really tiny gap. And if he hits any tree, Yuli, he's more than likely going OB there and having a really hard shot from there. And so we got to see the next hole, very similar, bad shot off the tee. He puts himself behind the 8 ball. He takes a bogey, or did he take a double there? I think
double on the Y hole. Yeah,
he went OB on his third. So I think those 2 holes perfectly sum up what Idlewild is where you're going to get. Not everyone's going to play perfectly. It's impossible. There's too many trees in the fairway. There's too many small gaps. It's impossible. You're going to get bad kicks. It's how do you respond and how you play off of it. And someone like Gannon, he's able to hit 14 out of the 18 shots and get out the gap to where if he does get a bad kick late, it's okay. And that really is what Idlewild's all about on a lot of these holes is, can you get the disc down the fairway initially and then figure out a way to get it in the basket? Because if you're not hitting those first gaps, Yuli, you're going to have a very long day out there. Very long day.
And it's not surprising to me to see that the top 2, players had such great days from weekends from C2, because I feel like a lot of times at Idlewild, you've got to be able to hit those shallow C2 putts, those 35 to 45 foot putts, and with McBeth going 60% for the event and Gannon going 47%. Combine that with the fact that they both probably had a combined best C1 and C2 in regulation. Like, that's the way you have success there, but you're always so close to the kick that goes just a bit too far to the left or too far to the right.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit. You guys will hear more about it on debate night this Thursday about, I guess there is some people talking about Idlewild being fluky. And if I was going to design a brand new course, or if the Disc Golf Pro Tour is looking for new courses to add to their schedule, I don't think I'm adding at Idlewild. But because Idlewild has been around for a while, it's also, Paul McBeth, first to ever win it twice. That shows you just how difficult that course is to win multiple times because of, the flukiness and the luck and all that stuff that builds into it. But to me, I do think it's a course that deserves to be on tour, because something that we talked about, Yuli, was just how much scrambling is out there. It's a part of the game that is completely disappeared at most of the pro level courses we play. And there, you're going to have to scramble at least 5, 6, 7 times. And a lot of times, even when you're in the fairway, Yuli, you're still having to try to figure out what gap, what line. It's not always the same. And I like that a lot.
I don't think it's excuse me, caught a little something over there at the Idlewilds. I don't think it's fluky. Hear me out. I think that the course is this. It's really simple. The initial gap, if you hit that, there's no fairway. The fairway is that gap. So sometimes the fairway, like let's say the Y hole, once you hit the Y hole going straight, you've hit the fairway. There's no landing that disc exactly where you want. It's a blind shot anyway. Let's go to the next hole, the one down the hill. There's one gap. If you hit that gap, what happens? You got a pretty long ways before you hit something. So you've hit the fairway. And then after that, wherever you land, you're scrambling. It's a fairway to a scramble.
Can I give you my definition of fluky?
Yeah.
Because I've thought about, because this was one of the questions on debate night. So I actually put a lot of thought into this.
Sure.
And again, I normally don't do this, but I've watched a lot of podcasts this last week, and I guess a lot of people are doing this now. And I think maybe this is why people don't like me, is because I don't do this. I'm not saying I don't like Idlewild. I love Idlewild.
Yeah.
I think the spectators out there are awesome. I think the course is awesome. It's one of my favorite courses to go play. This is not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying this is what makes Idlewild different than a lot of the other tour stops we have. And fluky gets thrown around there a lot. And so I really wanted to get a good definition of what I think actually fluky means. And I think for a course to be fluky, or for a shot to be fluky, I think it has to be one of these 3 things. There needs to be tight gaps down the fairway. And what I mean by down the fairway, I mean far off the fairway. So 18 is a perfect example of where it's a tight gap all the way down to where you could throw a great shot at 350 feet. I mean, we saw Gannon's shot. Gannon's shot was incredible, right? But if his shot was just a little bit more to the right, it's clipping a tree and might go straight right to where, or Paul's shot, for example. Paul's shot was just off to the left. There was a chance for him to clip a tree and go to the left and have no shot. So what I'm saying by tight gaps down the fairway, I'm saying 350 feet, 300 feet, 400 feet off the tee, you still have gaps to hit and you could ricochet off. The other thing is blind trees in the fairway. So you're throwing that initial gap like you are saying, Yuli. I think 8's a really perfect example of that. The par 5 that now is the par 4. There's 2 trees that are in the fairway that are blind. We can't see them. We know they're there, but we can't see them. We're all just trying to throw something on Annie and hoping it doesn't hit those trees. We've all thrown shots and thought they was perfect, and it hits the tree and you drop and you get up there and you're like, oh, that sucks. So having trees that are off the fairway that you can't see, that are in the fairway. And then the last thing, and this is, I think, is the most important one, Yuli, gaps to the basket that are off the fairway. And what I mean by that is there a way that if you miss your shot for your disc to still get to the fairway? Is there a way that you miss your shot and you can still get to the basket? I think there's a lot of holes out there that I can say this for, but the one that maybe everyone knows, the Chris Dickerson ace hole, or Gannon Burr ace hole from the match play. So hole 9 and hole 11, those little par threes, there is a specific line that we're all trying to hit. There is a fairway that we're all trying to hit. You can miss that gap and still make it into circle 1 on both of those holes. And so I think that's where that's where the flukiness comes in, is because you could miss the shot you intended for and get still circle 1, or you can miss the shot you intended for, hit a tree and be in a spot that's terrible. And again, we all signed up for this tournament. We all know what this tournament is. We're all going into it. So to me, that's why I think this course is awesome, is because we all know what Idlewild is. It is the course that you throw a great shot, it hits a root, and it rolls 30 feet in the opposite direction OB. It happens, and you just have to deal with it. And I'll end with this. And this is what I think we saw from Gannon and Paul that final round. If you throw great shots out there, you are going to score great. If you throw bad shots out there, like if your entire round you're just throwing bad shots, you are going to score bad. But it's that middle section of where if you're throwing okay and you have a couple bad shots, you could score great skill still, or you could score not that great. And I think that's what changes. That's what Idlewild is compared to other courses, is like that middle section.
Yeah, I just think that when I think of Idlewild, I don't think of fairways. I think of like the gap. Once you hit the gap, that's the fairway. And then after that, it's wherever you land is where you land. There's no like guiding it to a perfect spot. There's just not.
Yeah, and that's why it's going to be fluky, is because sometimes your disc is going to land and be in a great spot. I agree. You've been on that left side where Paul was on hole 18.
Yes, I can agree with that definition of fluky. But what I'm saying is, when people are like, the fairways suck, I'm like, well, your definition of a fairway needs to change for this specific course, because the fairway is the gap. Once you hit the gap, you've hit the fairway, and then after that,
I don't think Idlewild has fairways either.
No, you're going to land in a spot. That's what I'm saying, is the gap is the once you hit the gap, you've hit the fairway. After that, you're for sure going to be in bounds if you hit the first gap, for the most part, unless you've thrown a bad shot like on the Y hole. The people who are throwing full power there and they go out of bounds left, I'm like, well, it serves you right. That's a bad shot.
Well, it's more the people that are throwing distance drivers.
Yeah, it's like, well, what do you think's going to happen?
They're getting the big flares.
Yeah, and people are like, so unlucky. And I'm like, no, like, throw a fairway driver and you can't go, left enough unless you hug it tight, and then it's not a good. Anyway, besides that, the point is, you go through the first like 5 holes are fantastic. There's fairways everywhere.
Yeah.
There's fairways everywhere.
But hole 2, I would say hole 2's drive is fluky. Paul did not throw. Paul, yeah, we'll talk to him. We'll talk to him. Paul did not throw the shot he wanted to throw on hole 2 and got.
But you can pure it all the way down.
And there's three different ways to play it too.
Yeah, I'm saying that's an actual. That's not my definition of Idlewild fairway. That's an actual fairway to me.
But you know what I'm saying is, like, and I did it too. I missed the gap I was trying to land in that hole and got into a perfect spot, and that's where I'm adding the flukiness of. There are certain courses we play. If you throw a bad shot, it is a bad shot.
Yeah.
Idlewild, there are some holes that you throw a bad shot. You're not hit. To me, if you're aiming for the gap and you miss the gap, it's a bad shot.
Yeah.
And on hole 2, you can miss the gap and get lucky. Right.
I think they should make the mandatory push you to the left.
Yes. And then there's
really tough.
And then it would be way less fluky, because now people aren't going to be missing and still getting.
I'm trying to go early, right? But anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
That 1-4 all the way through until you get I think the course starts on hole 6. Now you're in Idlewild land, where you're throwing a roller down there
and hoping to get in a good spot.
Once you miss the big tree, but it's like I said, once you hit the roller on the high side and cutting right, you've hit the fairway. You know what I mean? And you're going to land in a precarious spot,
and then you
you got to scramble. Yeah. And that's why
I was in a bush that was up to my shoulders. So I was throwing a high release
yeah,
forehand.
same. I was in the same spot.
But that's why I love Idlewild. Because you throw a
really
bunch of weird
fluky hole
shots.
that I don't like is the next hole after is 7. I don't think it's a great hole because of all the roots, because you can actually hit the gap and then get unlucky
and roll
backwards or something out of bounds. And that's whenever there's ground play that you can't control, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is like when I throw a shot and it hits where I'm supposed to hit, I should be able to get away with the ground play. You know, and that hole in particular, like it didn't happen to me, thank goodness, but I saw people hit in the fairway and go boom, straight out of bounds. I'm like, damn, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do differently.
Nothing, no, because you've hit the fairway.
Yep.
It felt like the field actually did a really good job with it though this year. I mean, when you look, only 2 holes averaged over par, and of those 2, it was only a fifth of a stroke. So like,
well, I think that's
the course needs to change, in my opinion. The course needs to change because when you have a guy who's putting his mid range on, like he got like 7 birdies just putting that stupid orange mid range, and that drives me nuts. Like, I'm sorry, like let's push the hole back or something. Like we can't be having multiple holes where you can land, because I did it too. I landed on. I mean, I'm jump putting on hole 6. You throw a good drive there, you're jump putting for eagle there.
I mean, that
from off the fairway.
I do think Idlewild would get exceptionally harder if they just lengthened a handful.
Just push it back.
Because one of the reasons, like I bet hole 5, I would bet hole 5 had probably some of the least amount of birdies out of. I don't know if you can look that up, Gary.
No,
but
it did.
It requires.
Yep, I got
5 and 8.
14%. 8 had the fewest birdies, and then 5 had the second fewest birdies.
And it's because you have to throw a full shot, Yuli.
Yeah.
And then if you're out of position, like even if you throw a full shot, if you don't land in a good position, it's really tough. So yeah, I mean, I could be on board for them lengthening some holes for sure, but
11's one of the ones that needs to be lengthened.
A little dinky one, but I love.
No, not the ace hole. I'm saying the next one, the mandatory, right?
12.
Yeah, I don't like that.
12's weird. Ezra eagled it in practice and then eagled it the final day.
Yeah.
Because he's just throwing a turnover backhand and is hoping that it misses everything. And by golly, it did.
Yeah.
I thought the old hole 12 was better.
Same. That was one of the better holes on the course.
Yeah.
Do you think as we get more courses, like we're talking about, we're going to talk a little later about a new course added to the tour.
Yeah.
Is it long before Idlewild gets really looked at for its spot? Or do you think where it's at in the schedule, it's going to last longer than some of these other tournaments?
It should last.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
It needs to last because I think people enjoy watching it. I think it's fun for people. It's like their home course. They get to see like technical shots and people scrambling and long putts and jump putting mid ranges on after good drives. I think it like really speaks to the heart of like the local.
All right, Ezra just chimed in. He said, I only tried that shot because I was already in last place and the forehand wasn't giving me good results. Big shout out too. Edwin Stats on the bag all week for me. My performance has nothing to do with his caddy ability. He was a phenomenal caddy the entire week. So
how did it get you? Let's talk about that. We got a couple minutes here.
So a couple things. One, I think where my gameplay is right now is I'm playing to try to shoot the lowest possible. I'm going for like the ceiling on every hole, if that makes sense. So I'm not necessarily going for, hey, how do I play this hole? How do I take the best shot at this hole to play it for the easiest number? I'm going like balls to the wall. I'm playing like I have to birdie every hole. And so I think that kind of bites me in the butt a little bit. For example, Yuli, final day, birdie hole 1, birdie hole 2. I get to hole 3, throw the roller. It hits one of those trees and goes straight up and down. So now like I'm at that tree. What shot would you throw from there? if you're like you know how there's like 2 trees in the big tree on the right, you're like halfway up that hill. Like your disc hit the trees and rolled backwards towards you. So now you're like halfway up the hill. What would you do in that spot?
I'd probably go chip, get a par.
Chip, par, right? I try to go sky ante roller. So like I'm playing really, really aggressive right now, and I'm going for really big shots, and I'm happy with where I'm at right now because my best shots are really freaking good right now. When I throw, and I'm throwing a lot of them. I made a couple big putts too, which I'm happy about. But
I was gonna say
my overall score where I'm at too right now, it's just the consistency. Yuli, I'm not playing enough to be consistent. So that's why you see like one day I go out and shoot. What I shoot 5. What was it, Gary? 5 or 6 over.
You shot 3 under, 5 over, and 6 under.
Yeah, so like I'm all over the place here.
You're all over the map.
But I'm very happy with where I'm at right now as far as like what's going on. Another thing that I'm like kind of figuring out right now is training for a 5K, lifting 3 days a week,
trying to dunk,
and being in a calorie deficit, all the while going out and trying to play disc golf at the same time. Like waking up in the morning and running 8.5 miles before your round. Like these are all things that are probably not ideal for playing conditions. So I'm still trying to get that all figured out. But overall, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, 7th best C2 putting performance on the weekend in the field. 50% from C2.
50% is crazy.
My stepper was, I got my stepper back, feeling good. Yeah. So yeah, overall, I mean, and the thing is too, is like I can birdie every hole out there. And I think I might even actually maybe birdied every hole. So a lot of really good positive things. We're going to D-Glow next. I love D-Glow, and D-Glow is also, Yuli, that's the type of course that I could actually probably do decent at because a quarter of the field cannot play well there just because it's too long. Right.
It's big. I'm worried about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're not, I'll tell you this, we're not even sniffing my name in the pick'ems.
Speaking, we're gonna get to the pick'ems, Yuli. You were hot. Oh my gosh.
I had to redeem myself from the weekend before.
I didn't even realize I called you off the Chris Dickerson pick.
Yeah. I was on it. Yeah, I was, but like I said, I called you off of a really good one the week before. So
yeah. We got to ham and egg it a little bit better. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think, Edwin got to see the highs and lows out there because I think just to wrap up me, because I think we're going to get Paul here on in a second, just to wrap me up. I think the thing that I'm dealing with the most right now, that's the hardest, and maybe there's people out there listening that can relate to this, is on one side of me, I'm extremely competitive. Right. If you bring a board game over and we're having a board night, like I am trying to win. I'm not going to sit back and just like be like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like I'm extremely competitive.
I know that firsthand.
Yeah. Gary has seen game nights with me.
We were in a good 20-minute mental battle 1v1 for a good time.
So on one side, I am extremely competitive. On another side, Yuli, I'm getting to the age of where it's like, do I want to go out and practice 8 hours a day and be away from Kelsey, not be able to travel, not be able to, run, not be able to lift as much as I want? Do I want to do that? Because to be competitive in disc golf, as far as like finishing the top 10, finishing the top 30, you have to put a lot of work in. And so I'm balancing that weird thing of like, I'm super competitive, but do I want to put in all that work to be at that level? And so that's where it's really tough because I get out there and I'm like, I want to freaking go. And it's like, but then I don't want to spend my entire life around disc golf practicing.
It's a puzzle, man. It's a puzzle. You have to figure out what can I give while being happy?
Yes.
And that has to be enough. And then it's a mental battle of being like, I have to get rid of this part of me that says, no, in order for you to be successful, you have to do this, this, and this, and this, because you've done it forever. and you know that's a good recipe for who you are. And I deal with the same thing because I have these whispers in my head is like, hey man, you're not giving it 100%. How do you expect? And I have to shut that down and be like, no, I can still throw the shots. I can birdie every hole. That means it's mental. All those other things just sharpen it, to get the mental. So you're so focused. But if you can get to a place where you're doing just enough to keep your stuff and you understand like, hey, I might not be able to like practice all that much, but when I do practice, it's good practice.
Yeah.
And then that sometimes that is more important than the other. Cause in my career, I've seen a lot of lazy people win tournaments, man. A lot of lazy people win tournaments.
Yeah, it's just tougher to do nowadays, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of winners, guys.
We got him. The man himself, Paul McBeth, 6-time world champion, only player to win 2 Idlewilds, the first to do it. Paul McBeth joins Tour Life. First, I want to say, Paul, thank you for taking the time for jumping on here. I know me and you haven't talked in a very, very long time, so this should be interesting, I think. But I do want to say, first off, congrats, because to do what you had to do this past weekend, I don't know. I'm sure you're getting enough flowers. I'm sure your phone's blowing up. But just to put it kind of in perspective to everyone, to be in a situation where I feel like you've gotten close a lot this year, and then you're able to do it on a course as challenging as Iowa is, as far as just we were talking about bounces, and we saw you get a lot of those bounces the final round. To go against the number 1 player in the world right now, Gannon, who did some crazy things that final round, and to be able to clutch up and throw the shots, make the putts down the wire, it was an impressive win and one that I don't think is going to be forgotten. So I just wanted to give you your flowers on that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, this should be fun. First time on Tour Life, so I appreciate you guys letting me on.
This is officially your first time? I didn't know if we had you on prior to everything or not. I can't remember that far back. My memory's actually kind of trash.
Yeah, I think you guys are less than 2 years old, right?
Fair enough. Elephant in the room, might as well just throw it out there. I think I don't know what the quote is. Gary might have it, but like time heals all wounds, I guess might be a good one. And I think it's important to have us on, or have you on this podcast to kind of talk and have the people, because obviously everyone wants to hear from you. And I'll just say this because I know a bunch of people have been asking it. I've never had any issues with you on the course. I think I respect your game. If you listen to what I have to say about you on this podcast and whatnot. And I think we can kind of put the past in the past and move on and have a good podcast here if you're cool with that.
Of course. Yeah. I don't have any issues. I'm here to chat with you guys and answer whatever questions come up.
Okay, perfect. The first question I have is one that I feel like a lot of other people have as well. You had this pressure back when you're winning all the time of where you show up and everyone is saying, okay, who's going to get second place? And I know there is that pressure of like, I have to perform and win because everyone's expecting me to win. Now you have a little bit of a different pressure that you might have felt this year of where you've gotten close many times and you had the people, and obviously you're, if not the most popular, one of the most popular players in the game. You have now people saying like, can he actually win? What's going on? Can you discuss a little bit about what that pressure, what that feeling is like, those two different pressures?
Yeah, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is kind of, you see these people that make it in sports and they're like, oh, the haters were my motivators, like shout out to them. It's like, I don't feel like I've ever acknowledged or feel like those people motivated me. I feel like I put more pressure on myself and I want to accomplish things in the sport of disc golf because of who I love and what I love and those passions. So, I don't really hear that stuff, that he's never going to win again. I knew I'd win again. Like I know the work I'm putting in. I know how close my game is coming back from, European Open 23 when I hurt myself. I knew it wasn't going to be quick. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew I had a lot of catching up to do and I had a lot of skill things I had to work on, especially the consistency side, which you see this year. It's like I put together 2 out of 3 rounds. I put together 3 out of 4 rounds. It was never a full tournament. And that kind of goes back to the Pro Tour asked these questions at the beginning of the year. It's like, if you had one word to describe yourself, what is it? Mine was consistency. And I knew that was going to be the word I needed in order to win. So, yeah, I think I kind of forgot the question.
Well, it's just like when you're the number one guy and you're going into a tournament, everyone's expecting you to win. So, and you're expecting to win as well. Yeah. So you have that pressure where now, obviously, Yuli and you know, everyone as a competitor, you're all going in, AB, Ezra, all these guys, they're going in thinking they can win the tournament, but it's different when it's like you're winning 15 of the 17 tournaments in a year. So it's just, I was just wondering, like, is there a different pressure that you're going in being like, is this the tournament that it's finally going to all come together for me?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sorry. I got sidetracked. I don't see it as a different pressure from then to like now coming in each tournament. I feel like mentally I'm going to win every tournament I enter, you know, whether it was back then or whether it is now. It's just where my skill set and where my game is. There, everything was just, I just go out and play and everything was dialed. Right now, it's like I got to find these little cues to get that consistency side until it is ingrained for, you know, a year or two of just straight practice and getting back into it. So, yeah, I think the pressure is the same, honestly.
Did you ever get real frustrated though? Because you've been very close a lot of times in the last few tournaments, and you've shot crazy hot rounds, like I think a Champions Cup, and then when the word major comes up and you pop off that first round, is that frustrating or is it just a learning curve, like you're saying, or are you just like, okay, well, I guess that's just the way that it is?
Yeah, it's definitely both. Here at Idlewild, like I didn't have that kind of frustration because I had the confidence in my putt. And same with like Ledgestone. Like I felt like my putting confidence was so high that no matter where I threw the disc, as long as I could see the basket, I felt like I could put it in the basket. That's kind of how my mindset was the last 2 weeks. Europe, not so much. I wasn't as dialed on the green. But I think a lot of it too comes from Ben Askren. I mean, he said he would work with his wrestlers and he'd ask them why are they getting frustrated? Why are you getting mad? And they would have their excuses, but he said, like, you're not good enough to get mad. Like you're not there. You need to learn. You need to continue to be a student. So I feel like that's kind of a mindset I need to carry over because I don't have disc golf perfected. I don't have the game of golf perfected, and I never will. So I need to, instead of getting frustrated, learn from it, you know, soak it in as quick as I can and learn from it. And even if I play well, go back and try to work on my mistakes. And I think Idlewild's one where there was 5 holes I don't think I birdied the entire tournament, you know. So I had these holes dialed. I knew those weren't going to be birdies. I just need to, you know, kind of move on.
Speaking of pressure, because like, you know, we talk a lot about the pressure of you being in a position where, you know, considered the greatest to do it. One of the things that I never thought I would ever experience in my life is the pressure related to being a father. You know, once I had my son, I have a 2-year-old son, and it's amazing how it feels like it makes the highs higher and the lows lower when you perform well or don't perform well, because like you think about the time that you could be spending with, you know, your children and stuff. How does like being a father change the way you approach the game of disc golf, see yourself in the sport, like historically, and does it make you more excited when things go well? And like, how do you handle the, you know, I'm away from my son right now and I'm not playing as well as I'd like to. Does that put more pressure on you in like a different sense?
No, I wouldn't say there's more pressure. It's kind of funny because after I tapped in the last putt on 18, I saw Hannah and Pablo coming up and he was cheering with the crowd to where when AB won Supreme Fight Open last year, he was a couple months old. He was crying because it was so loud. And now he's at the point where he's cheering and yelling with them. Yeah. So I think, you know, it's just one of those things where it all happens on God's timing, you know? So he wasn't ready for that. You know, I was ready to win, I'll tell you that. But for that kind of situation to happen, and now he can enjoy it and cheer with the crowd. But then life moves on. Like the trophy went in the box right after they handed it to me, and I haven't seen it or touched it since because I have a soon-to-be 2-year-old I have to take care of, and
Yeah.
I'll look at that trophy later when I have the opportunity. I don't know what color it is. I just know it's glass. That's it. But yeah, life goes on. So now it's dad time, and tomorrow I'll get back to playing and throwing. So getting ready for D-Glow.
Do you think that being a father has created a better sense of patience and self-understanding? Because I feel like I'm always finding something new about myself every day with it, especially with once you get to the 2-year-old phase, you have to learn patience way more than you ever thought you did. Does that do those qualities help you out on the course?
I'm sure they do. I don't know how they do yet, but I'm sure I'll learn from it. But yeah, when you have a 1-year-old screaming in a restaurant, you're going out to dinner with your brother and stuff. You learn to try to handle that and not stress about it, but handle those situations as they come. But yeah, it's all a learning curve, and I think hopefully I'm doing well.
I'm curious where you would put your game right now. If you were able to kind of rank your game over the years, where would Paul McBeth 2025 be?
Like in what year? Like if I had to do each year?
Yeah, you're competing against yourself.
Yeah, like where would Paul 2025 stack up in a tournament with all the other Paul years?
I'd say 15's better, 14's better, 19's better. It's probably fifth. Probably sitting fifth right now.
So what are
the biggest?
Yeah, what I was just gonna say, maybe that's what you're gonna say. What are the things that Paul 2025 needs to do to be able to compete against those Pauls?
I would say probably distance control. I think that's the part that I've been lacking the most. Fairways fine, mids fine, putters, putting, it's getting up there, but distance control, that's just the hardest thing to find time for right now. Fieldwork's not that hard, but it's getting the body out there to throw 50 straight power shots and learning your disc and all that stuff on top of the field work. That's probably the hardest part because my shoulder will feel it after a while. But back when you were a kid, you would just throw till your arm hurt.
Yeah.
You can't really do that anymore.
Are there players now? I mean, obviously, I know you and AB have had a great relationship for a very long time, but are there other players now on tour over the last couple of years that you have seen parts of their game that have made you change your game or made you say, hey, that's a shot that maybe I don't have and I need to have because they're able to do certain things that, because like when you're the top of the top, it's tough sometimes to look at the people around you and pull stuff, that you can help yourself with.
Sure.
But like, are there guys that are kind of leading you to change your game in certain ways, or is it still kind of the same game plan going into tournaments?
I think it's pretty similar, but there are different shots. Like Kevin Jones throws a grenade every chance he gets. And I actually just learned how to throw one of those types of grenades like this offseason from Kevin Kiefer. I never realized like you throw the disc normal. I always thought a grenade you throw super hyzer, but you actually just throw it flat and it's upside down and the disc does the work. And I never knew that. And when I learned that, it's a pretty useless skill for me, but now I know how to do it if I ever come into a situation where grenade's the only option. But
yeah,
I don't think there's many things. I think there's a lot of things that, like Gannon does really well, better than any other players, and same thing with AB. But I don't think that's ever been my game or my style in my career. It's just, I want to be top 5, top 10 in every category. I want to be consistent all around because I feel like that's what's going to win tournaments, not just being the furthest thrower, or the best putter, or the best this or that. You need to be skilled in everything. So that's kind of what I've always tried to do.
Now there was, I talked to Hunter and Trevor a little bit about, old Paul 2015 would never miss a single putt. I don't know if that's true or not because I didn't watch all your tournaments back then, but they claim that you were just making everything, and so you would miss a putt, a 55-footer or something like that on hole 14 of one of these tournaments. They're like, oh, old Paul would never miss that. Is that true?
Yes.
Because like when I watch,
yes,
when I've watched you, I'm like, he's putting really well, and everyone's telling me like, no, you should have seen him back in the day, and I'm like, I think sometimes you guys give don't give credit to like how good you are. Is that fair?
I mean, I would say my putting back in the day was better. I think my range may be a little longer now than it was then, but like I would never miss those 3 or 4 in the circle that I missed this weekend.
Yeah.
So that's probably the big
is?
difference. I was 20 something years old and I had nothing else to do.
So you think it's simply just practice time, simply just hours and hours?
I think putting definitely is. And then having a consistent form and routine that you can just do over and over is the biggest thing. You know, it's like why Steph Curry shoot better free throws than, you know, someone else. It's the rep and it's the form and it's all the above. And I think that's the closest thing to what we have for putting is that kind of repetition. And I would just putt all the time. I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. I mean, putting's really fun when you're putting well. You just kind of want to go out and try everything and putt everywhere. So back then I was very consistent with my putt. So I'd putt even more. But it's kind of hard when you're struggling. You don't want to get out there because you know you're going to be picking your disc off the ground a lot. But right now it's a lot of fun to me. And I want to continue to get out there and make more putts and continue to try to get as close to 100% as I can for a tournament.
How do you manage that? Because before you came on, that was something me and Yuli were just talking about, because I'm trying, you know, last year I didn't really enjoy playing disc golf at all. Wasn't enjoying going to tournaments and playing. And this year I've been able to have a lot more fun doing it just because I don't do it that often. So it's like something new and it feels fun to me. But then I was telling him like, it's tough because I'm such a competitor that then it's like, gosh, well, maybe I should sacrifice all these other things I want to do to practice. So then when I go out there, and it sounds like you're obviously on a whole different level, but it sounds similar of where, how do you pick and choose? Like, okay, I don't want to miss 3 putts inside the circle, but do I want to sacrifice 2 hours every day to putt to make sure that doesn't how do you wrap your brain around that? How do you make those decisions?
Well, I think to answer the first part of the question, it's kind of expectations kill everything. You know, it's when you have expectations and you expect to go out there and shoot well. And kind of what you mentioned is it wasn't fun last year because you had built so many expectations on your game. Like you were playing well, top 25 in the world. You have these expectations to continue to get better. And when it's not getting better and you hit a wall, it doesn't get fun anymore, you know, and it's a barrier you have to break through. And so, I mean, that totally makes sense. And that's kind of how my game was coming back is I won the last tournament I pretty much fully competed in. And then I had to wait 2 years to win again. And there is a lot of expectations that make it not fun. Sorry, what was the second part of the question?
I was just saying, how do you decide, you know, you're not able to, you know, you're not 20 years old, like you said, you're not out there going out and practicing 8 hours a day because what else do you have going on? So how do you decide how much time you're going to spend? How do you decide what you're actually going to practice and what you're not going to do? How do you make those decisions?
Yeah, it's tough, especially with, you know, having a soon to be 2-year-old. Kind of got to prioritize my time better. Can't just waste it doing nothing. You know, you can't just sit around watching movies or TV shows or whatever the bad habits could be. So it's kind of utilizing that time better. And, you know, I think it's funny. The way the tour schedule works has really helped me with my game too, is we kind of have a week on, week off, week on, week off. So I can fly into a tournament and Hannah and Pablo can stay wherever they're staying with her parents or back home or wherever we are. And I can just focus that entire week on just playing and practicing. I have nothing else. You know, I come home after practice and I'll talk to them and focus on disc golf. So that has given me a lot of time to just solely work on what I need to work on, you know, but it's not ideal, but it is, you know, kind of where my career is at now. So the off season, I don't know how it's going to work yet. I haven't had a full off season where I'm healthy. So that's the goal, is to get to the off season healthy, and we'll see how it goes.
How important is fitness right now? As you know, we're clocking the years here a little bit. Mm-hmm. How important is that to make sure you're getting in the gym, doing mobility, stretching, all those things? I mean, I'm not going to call anyone's names out right now, but you go to any tournament, you'll watch guys finish their round and immediately just walk into their car, get in, and drive off. And I'm thinking, if I did that, I'm not walking the next day. Like I'm struggling. So what is the fitness regimen now that we're getting close to that 40 number?
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky, I guess. I don't get sore too often. I've had the few injuries and those have sucked, but I've been very lucky to not have anything crazy to where like, oh, my back's killing me or my shoulder's killing me. I feel like I've been pretty good to my body, but yes, stretching, body weight exercises right now, especially on tour. And in the off season, I definitely really want to add a little bit more muscle, get into a little leaner shape. I've lost, I think, close to 15 or 20 pounds this year already, just by playing and just eating better. That's been a big thing. Yeah, just trying to stay healthy. I guess I'm 35 now, and that's I think 34 is where they say it starts to trend downward, but we'll see. I think there's some people who are lucky and some that aren't. So hopefully I'm on the lucky side.
The better genetics.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see. But yes, I do want to continue to take care of myself. I think that starts by eating and having the right nutrition and then getting in the gym consistently.
Out of all the players you've played against, where does Gannon stack up on the list?
He's good. He reminds me a lot of Shoestrick back in the day, like accolades, the way that he was winning a lot. Because I think Shoestrick popped off a little bit before Ricky and I did, maybe a year or two. But his career reminds me a lot of his right now. But Gannon's got, I mean, his putt is better than a lot. I mean, him and Ricky are probably comparable when Ricky was putting very, very well. Yeah, he's up there for sure.
And what about Definitely. AB? Have you ever seen anything like it as far as the power goes?
I think the closest thing was probably Double G and Geisinger. Like they were just ripped, but I think AB's definitely gotten the control side under. Like he's gotten his control game dialed pretty well. So I think there's been a lot of guys that have come and gone that are similar, but these guys they're transforming their games and they're adjusting to the sport rather than just being distance guys or I feel like Double G is still known for his distance instead of like kind of evolving with the sport. But AB is kind of really developing his game all around, and it's cool to see.
Speaking of evolving, you mentioned on your interview the other day that the lead card was more talkative than you're kind of used to experiencing. Is it like, do you see the game kind of moving in an interesting direction where, as we talk about like players becoming more friendly with one another, it feels less like there are the stone cold rivalries that used to exist? Like, what is it like to have to adapt to that like changing dynamic on tour?
Yeah, I guess it's just personalities because like Ricky still doesn't talk to anyone when he's on the card, so it's not, it's really just their personalities. And Gannon, whether it was the intense, I mean, it definitely got more intense after he double bogeyed that hole. He wasn't as talkative, yeah, they're just young and chatty now. I don't know what it is, but they are. We talk a little bit back in the day, but not as much as they do now. And I think a lot of it has to do with they have caddies now, and there's fewer people around. To where before there was everyone could be falling right with the card. You could have 10 people with your crew if you wanted. So the players would just stick to their little crew. Now you get one caddy and that's it. So the maximum amount of people there'll be is 8 on the competitor side. 4 players, 4 caddies, and then you got scorekeepers and marshals. So that might be a little reason why as well.
Speaking of caddy, that is something that I thought was when I came into disc golf, I thought it was fascinating that everyone was just like carrying their own bag the entire time. I was just thinking in my head, I was like, over 4 rounds, like that's just a lot of extra weight, a lot of extra effort that you have to put into carrying your bag. And I was just surprised by it. And now, we're seeing it. I think almost every league card now, someone is jumping on the bag, or they have caddies. Yuli's got a full-time caddy, and we got to see Brad on your caddy caddying for you this week. What was it like to have him? Someone that, I got the pleasure of actually playing with him. Awesome guy and a super, super solid player. What was it like to have someone like that on your bag for you at this tournament?
Yeah, Brad's awesome. He caddied for the first 2 rounds at Ledgestone the week prior to, which I don't think we've ever shot under like 1060 when he's caddied. So he's been really good. I don't know if he caddied last year at all, but Brad and I have known each other for a long time with the Brett Hamburg Memorial. I think he was probably even there in the field when Yuli won in 2011, I think, at the Hamburg Memorial. But Brad's been around a long time. Really, really awesome dude. But I've said it many times, he's just one of those guys where, for me personally, he never gets me too up, too high or too excited. And like, I don't get too excited around him. And if I'm like dipping low emotionally, he's kind of there to pull me up. He kind of just keeps me on this little even wavelength, which I think is key for, a battle like this. And then I never really let the emotion out until my shot was in the bullseye on 18. And I think that's kind of what Brad does and helps me with, is keeps me in that kind of mindset, which I feel like I used to be able to do that myself, but it's a little bit hard now. I feel like, I don't know why, but I'm trying to learn and figure it out. But
was hole 8 one of those times where it really was nice to have someone kind of in your corner? Because you got a 4-shot lead against Gannon. It looks like, hey, if I play well, I'm going to win this thing. And all of a sudden he throws in, the crowd goes nuts, and now your 4-shot lead goes to a 2-shot lead. Is that nice to have someone in your corner in like moments like that?
Sure. I think it was actually more important on like 11 when I hit the cage for the 3rd time, 3 days in a row, cage for birdie. Same way, just top nubs right there, and I didn't get it to bounce in. So for it to happen 3 times, I think that was more important for him to just be like, hey, you're on mine. It's just one of those holes. Like, let's go. Let's get the next one. Which the next one's a must get. So I think that's important. There is yes, I missed the putt for the 3rd day in a row, but we have a must get on the next hole. So let's look at that now.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably more important than the throw in, because those weird things happen. Sometimes you just throw on a blind shot and it skips it. It's not like if he did that on 18 and I watched it, that would have probably been a little bit more, a little bit harder to get over.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You just kind of answered the question, but I'm gonna hopefully word it differently. So like back in the day, like McBeast mode, everybody talk about it, and you were like this fierce, like you could tell you were locked in. Like, especially at the World Championships, I remember competing against you and just looking over and being like, geez, like, calm down. You just went into this different place. And it, now that I cover the sport and I have to watch every single round, it seems like I could pick out the times when you're locked in, and it's like you can pop out of there now. And you said you don't know why just a second ago. That was going to be one of my questions for the interview anyway, was like, what's different? Like, why can't you just be that lot? Like when the moment's there, you just like lock in.
Oh man, I think it's easier when you have a stiff rivalry to always go against someone or a couple people where you're like, I really don't want to see them win. I don't want to see them. Oh, like it sounds worse than it is, but like I don't want to see them succeed at this tournament. Like I want to beat them. I don't care what place they take, but as long as it's not first. So I think that was kind of a lot easier because it was Rick, or if it was Shoestrick, and even you at times, So it was always, I want to go out and beat these people. Now it's a lot of kids, so it's like
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough to get really angry at like a 20-year-old, 19-year-old.
Someone that's 10, 15 years younger than you. So it is a little different, but I had a little bit more pushing me this week. I mean, Gannon just won Worlds. He just won the World Games. I've never had a chance to compete in the World Games. He just won Ledgestone, which is
one of his had enough.
Yeah.
Tired of this kid.
I had a little bit more motivation to push him off that, that pedestal he was on, and to beat him when he was, playing very well. I mean, we were both playing really well, and yeah, we had our mistakes on the final round, but that's kind of what pressure will do to you, especially when it's just head to head, pretty much. I think if we had 4 or 5 of us, some of those mistakes probably don't happen, but because it was just him versus me for the most part, it's a little bit different kind of battle.
And you're kind of going like the Tiger Woods approach a little bit about how, we saw that change as Tiger got to his later years, of where he kind of dropped the curtain a little bit and let people in, and was talking to people more, and was helping players and returning people's phone calls as far as like when they're asking for advice and stuff. And it seems like you maybe be doing the kind of same thing, of where you're kind of ushering in this new younger group. You're kind of helping them. If they're asking you questions and stuff, you're actually responding to them. You're not just shutting them out. Is that like a similar comparison?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm sure you've had to deal with it too. It's like when these people come up and be like, "Man, I've been watching you since I was a little kid. I'm such a big fan." You can't just be mean to them right away. You're kind of like, this is awesome. I appreciate you being a fan. Yeah, what's your question? Like, we're competing, but yeah, I'll answer whatever you want. So I guess it is a little bit of that, but I think I'm a little younger than when Tiger was, so I can still compete with them. But yeah, I mean, I think I have a lot going on as well, with the foundation and stuff like that. So I kind of need them as well to help push the sport and grow the sport. So I can't just, I wouldn't, but I can't just like shut everyone out and be like, all right, I'm just focusing on disc golf. I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to just go out and win.
So being who you are and seeing the growth of disc golf over the past however many years and having a big impact on that, are you proud of disc golf and where it's come? Or when you like, even if you look at like the new generation, are you like, oh, these little twerps? Or do you look at the game and are you like, all right, I did my job? And of course you still got a job to do, but where are you with that?
I think the game's going in a great direction. I know when we were starting, we were the only person wearing a polo was Nate Doss, and we all remember that. Like, he had this cotton weird polos that he would wear, but he was the only one that was out there looking truly professional, in Climo as well. And I feel like we kind of ushered that in a little bit with how we carried ourselves, and you kind of see that now in the younger kids now. Now everyone's got their own signature jersey and all this stuff, and I mean, you see the impact in Europe too, which is, I think, where you can really see where the sport's going, and hopefully the states can follow suit, because it's so professional over there. Like, the players are treated like true athletes. Like, they get to use some of the countries get to use their Olympic facilities and stuff, and their trainers and things like that. And we're nowhere near that in the U.S. I hope we can get there, but I didn't think I would see that level for disc golf. I'd hope we get sponsors and stuff and get paid more. And yeah, we've gotten that a little bit, but I didn't expect what they have over there in Europe and how they're training.
Speaking of Europe, we've talked about this a little bit on this podcast, kind of going with the comments you just mentioned. Do you ever see right now disc golf, the Disc Golf Pro Tour and professional disc golf as we know it is very heavily United States, and then it feels like we kind of go over there for a little bit, play a couple tournaments, and then we come back. Do you ever see that it switches? Do you ever see it being more of a European sport, and then we come over to the States and play a couple tournaments?
I don't think so, until their talent pool is bigger than ours. That's probably what I would say is if you got most of the talent over here, I think most of the events will be over here. Gotcha. Until you maybe the 15 of the top 20 players potentially are in Europe, then you might see a shift, because the fans are going to want to see them versus them always being on what you could call enemy territory playing in the States. So I think it would take a lot of really good players coming out of Europe to make that shift. But I can see it getting, I mean, would we have 5 tournaments over there, or 4 or 5 this year? out of 25 events. So
at least 5. Now, do you think
it's getting close to 20% now?
Do you think the prize pool, because
I've been like 8 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good percent. It's a good percentage.
Yeah, because they had all those events,
like Czech Republic and then Sweden
and
because the payouts right now are pretty equivalent. Like you're not, when you go over there, even though it's a much bigger sport in the sense of like the country and the people that are living over there, the payouts are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think that could also make a shift too? You say like the top players, that makes a lot of sense. It's gonna be tough to convince all the top players to all of a sudden just move to Europe and start playing over there. But what if all of a sudden the payouts were like doubled? Like they're playing over there for tournaments that are 30K.
Yeah.
Would that slowly maybe shift? Do you see that happening with players shifting over there, or do you think it would have to be a crazy amount of money to make any sense for these guys to move over there?
Yeah, I think it would take. I think money could definitely do it if they start doing it. I think that's kind of what we see in soccer. A lot of the soccer players get paid a lot more in Europe right now, and the talent pool is deeper as well. But you see some of the stars coming to the MLS because they can get paid a lot with what they call easier competition. But money can change a lot of things, so it could get a lot of people to go over there. But I don't know if they would move to Europe. I don't know if players would move to Europe. Maybe they'll still be based here and do that. But
be okay with having more of a European tour.
Yeah,
I guess is what I was saying.
Yeah. I could see it. Yeah, if you're saying they're going to be making more money over there, I think it's easier to play over there and travel over there than it is here in the States. But
yeah,
that's just me. But now I don't know if I can do that now with the sun.
Yeah, it's just very interesting just because, like, yes, we all want disc golf to grow. We all want, more people to watch, more people to play. But here in the States, you have so many other sports. Heck, Ezra just sent me a video of guys playing tennis with a Frisbee. And I was like, what the heck am I watching here? So, like, there's just so many sports that are happening in the States where I feel like in Europe, it's a little less congested to where I think disc golf could grow faster over there. But it is a tough move to make for sure, to like go all in on a European tour and have only a couple events over here in the States. It'd be tough to get everyone on board. But I wonder sometimes if that might be what's best for disc golf. The pro side, I'm saying, the pro side.
Sure. The way that they're treated and stuff. Yeah. And I know, like, Estonia, for example, like their annual earning is not that much. Like, there's still some countries that you don't need to make much money to live there, to have a living wage compared to here in the U.S. It's pretty high. But
yeah.
I just don't know if that affects sponsorships and stuff for some of these events in certain countries.
Well, how am I going to watch football if I live over there? That'd be tough.
Early.
Can't do it.
You're going to watch the real football, Yuli. The real football.
No, calm down.
Yeah, when you wake up in the morning. Go ahead, Yuli.
What is it going to take for you to become the number 1 player in the world again? Or is that even on the radar? Is that something that you think you can achieve with? Because hearing you talk about it, it sounds like we're missing a couple pieces, and time management is a tough thing. And so how do you get to that spot? Because I know you want to. Yeah,
definitely. After Idlewild, we were signing autographs. I told Gannon, I said, I got maybe less than 2 years. If disc golf actually gets in the Olympics, I said, I want to be the U.S. representative. So I told him that's the spot I'm gunning to take from him. He always wants to take something from me, like the rating. He wants to take world titles and records. I said, I'm going to take your U.S. spot, and that's my goal.
You can be the alternate.
Yeah, he can be my alternate. Yeah. So that's what I got to get to, the number 1 spot and all that stuff within 2 years.
I like it.
Do they just go off of like, what rankings do they go off of?
I have no clue, but I just need to be higher rated or higher ranked than him. That's all I know.
Gotcha.
Do you still think about the major numbers and the record that's out there? And is that something that's prime in your mind as you prepare? I mean, we always talk about how every year whenever we get closer to majors, it feels like that's when you're gearing up and the best disc golf is coming out of you. Is that a number that still looms in your mind there?
Yeah, I definitely want to break Kenny's 18 record. I think I'm at 17. He's at 18. But I want to win every tournament I sign up for. That's the goal. And majors are great because you always have more time to prepare for them. And it seems like the lights get brighter when you get to that stage. And I mean, there's only 4 of them a year. I mean, we're lucky to have 4 of them a year now. Usually it's 2 or 3. So we actually have a steady number of 4. But yeah, I do want to win USDGC. I want to win Champions Cup. I want to win every major I sign up for. So if I'm winning majors, then his record is, yeah, I want to break it. I don't know how else to word that.
What are your thoughts on the majors as they are right now? I mean, you've played, you go back to like your Wikipedia or Statmanda or whatever it is, and you look at all your major titles, and you can go to like other people too. And there's like some majors that existed for a couple years and they left, and like 1 year and it's gone. I think these 4 are here to stay for some time, but I did have 2 questions. I think USDGC and Worlds, I like where those are at. But with Champions Cup, I think it should be a wooded major where we go to like the toughest wooded courses. And then European Open, my question to you there is, it wasn't called the European Open this year. They changed it to the Disc Golf Festival. So like, what are your thoughts with that? Like changing the name? Because I think like you go in the history books, and I can't say, Paul was a 3-time European Open winner.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, you won 2 European Opens and then you won a disc golf festival, right? Like, it's like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is a little bit confusing because you got to just say he's a 5-time European major winner. Like that's kind of how it breaks down, because I think it's just the ownership of the name. It's not owned by the PDJ; it's owned by the tournament. So European Open is the Finland Nokia Tampa Day. That is the Discmania one. European Festival is the Estonian one. We used to have the Scandinavian Open, which is northern Sweden. European Masters, which used to be in Stockholm, Sweden. So like there's been a lot of European Copenhagen Open. There's been a lot of majors with different names. And I think it has to be represented by those, those countries and the event staff that's running it. Like that, they own those names, but they have major bids. So
do you think they should just find a new name and run with that? Like just call it the Open and say from now on it's called the Open. No one owns it, or the PGA or whoever owns it. And so then that way you just have some
definitely
consistency.
Be the easiest. Yeah. And then as far as history, it's Paul has 5 European major titles, or 6 or whatever. Any major that's been in Europe, it just falls under the European majors. So I think that's kind of how it's going to end up being in the history books, if I had to guess. So yeah, as far as the names, it's just who owns them. But yeah, if they had a name that PDJ owned, that the European major is going to be this, then that's done with. Champions Cup, I understand having a wooded major. They just need to find a track that they can film and have spectators. And next year is going to be at New London. I don't know if you've played the redesign yet, but
yeah, I have. Really,
I think it's pretty good. I haven't played it since they finalized cutting all the trees, which I'll probably do that tomorrow. Oh shoot, I shouldn't say that, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. So
it's
I'll try to get out there.
Really, really good course. Actually, I like it a lot. So you do like the idea of having like a woods major, like everyone knows that this is where you're going to have to grind it out for 4 days in a very tough woods place.
Yeah. And honestly, I'd love to get your guys' thoughts, but I think all the majors should be 5 rounds. And then pro tours should be 4, and whatever the smaller pro tours could be 3, but I think majors should be 5. I think we'd survive playing 5-round majors, and it'd be different than a DGPT plus, like right now.
I don't mind that. I always thought that maybe all the majors should have had a final 9, because that was like
no final 9.
I loved back in the day when
that made no sense to me.
Well, no, it was because we didn't have spectators, and so you actually
a lot of the players were the spectators.
So all those players would follow, and then you'd actually have a
crowd,
gallery, which was
I guess that actually
cool.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's something I would love to see is 5 round majors, make it different. Like we don't have to be exactly like golf. Yeah, we can have 4 majors, or tennis 4 majors, but
I don't mind it because we shouldn't have one major that's 5 round and the rest that are 4.
Yep,
correct.
The only I guess devil's advocate here, the only thing would be obviously that 5th day is going to be a Wednesday. You're probably not going to have a lot of spectators, show up to that day. And so that would be the only thing is like monetarily, financially, does it make sense for the Pro Tour to have another day of being out there filming? I guess that would be the question.
They'd make enough money probably with ticket sales at least to cover
the one day.
The one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, if it financially makes sense, then I don't see a problem with it.
Especially majors are kept closer to places where people would be able to attend in person as well.
Yeah. I just know like Thursdays and even Fridays at a lot of tournaments, the crowd is significantly smaller than it is on Saturdays and Sundays, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. No, I don't disagree there. I think as a player though, I'd love to have one more round.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously being the better players always want more rounds.
All right. What about this?
I think so has a different feel than the Pro Tour, the 4-rounders and stuff.
This is a good question for somebody who has 6 of them. How about this, Paul? How about we get rid of the worlds completely? No world championships. It's just a major, just like all the other ones, 5 rounds. And then the Pro Tour points finale, whoever wins the points finale is the world champion because you're traveling around the entire world and accumulating points. But there's your world champion. You have the tour championships, and then you just have the majors.
I think it'd be like calling the FedEx Cup winner a major winner.
Well, no,
they
have like their own. They have their own tournament for it. I'm saying no tournament. Whoever just wins the points, like it's just a points total. It's not even a tournament.
I don't know. I like the pressure of playing the tournament. I get it. It's a tournament. It's a title. And yeah, sure. I have 6 of them. But I don't know. I like the pressure of that all eyes being on you that week.
So you like that being a major that's bigger than all the rest? Because I feel like it dumbs down the other majors. That's the only reason I say it is because like Worlds is everything in disc golf. You can ask somebody, hey, how many USDGCs would you trade for a world championship? And typically the answer is going to be all of them.
Yeah, 2 or 3 for sure. But and not many people have 2 or 3.
Right, exactly, but they would. And so that's why I think it almost does disc golf a disservice in a way. If we're playing majors and there's one that's quadruple the rest of them.
Yeah.
I think
coming from a guy who's greedy and took 6 of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could say 17-time major winner and then it looks like I've won. I mean, it would make it look like I've won a lot more than, I have 6.
But the fact
Ricky
that they don't
2,
even
Isaac
talk about
2.
it is crazy to me.
Yeah, you never announced that 17 times.
Nobody cares about the 17, dude.
They always
care about the
6 times.
The next closest is what, 4 or 5? Rick has 5, maybe.
Isaac
has 4.
4.
Yeah, it would just make the gap look bigger, but
I mean, Rick, I think has
6
7
and 2
or 8.
Rick has some 9. Rick has some weird ones. He's got some weird ones.
No, he's got more than 5. He's got 2 world titles, the Champions Cup, and
he won PDGA Championship.
Yeah,
he won Australia, and he has European Masters. That's the only 5 I could count.
The silver jacket.
Well, you're probably the one that would know.
Well, here, Paul, I have this question for you with Worlds because it is an interesting one. I agree with Yuli a little bit in the idea that I wish it was more like golf and tennis with their majors of where, there isn't specifically one major in golf or tennis that everyone unanimously says that is the most important. It depends on where you were born. It depends on who your favorite players were growing up. It depends on the type of courses you play or the surface you play. There's a lot of things that go into it. And I think with disc golf, we all just agree that Worlds is the most important. But to me, being at, I've played every single major, there's not enough difference other than we just all know going into it, this tournament's more important. There's not enough difference to Worlds than the other majors. So would you be open to a tournament calling it Worlds where it's every 2 years. So you separate it to where it's not every single year, or something where like the qualifications of where it's the top 100 players ranked in the world get in, or something like that, of where it separates itself from all the other ones versus, hey, you know what? We're gonna call it Worlds, and we're gonna play 9 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you see it with the Olympics. Some people get 2 or 3 chances in their life, maybe 1, but it's every 4 years, and that's a long time to be in your prime and the best in the world, So I personally don't like it because I want to play one every year and play a major and Worlds, but
sure.
Like,
should it be at the end of the year? Like, would you like that idea where it's the final tournament of the season? So it's
I'm cool with just the majors being the majors. Like, yes, right now where our sport is, the Worlds being the biggest one, that's just where it's at. Everyone wants a Worlds. But if
you should be announced as a 17-time major winner.
Sure.
17's that's a crazier number to me than 6.
Yeah.
17's crazy.
Yeah.
17 claw discs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think a lot of it is where it's come from is one back in the day, it's like you would get your name on a disc if you're a world champion.
Oh, it's rich in history for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's just been a marketing thing. And there weren't many majors back then. What was it, just Worlds up until mid-90s?
Yep.
Or no, 99 is when USDGC was introduced, I think. So the first 10 or so years was just one major.
And that makes a lot of sense because you have all these other tournaments throughout the year, and then everyone gets together, and that's the only tournament all year that you see all the best players play.
Well, I'm sure golf only had one major at one point in time, right? Or is that crazy to say?
Well, the Open is the oldest major.
Yeah, so at one point in time, you just played the Open.
Now, I don't know if there was like other majors like disc golf where they came and went.
That would be funny if they did.
They don't exist anymore. I don't know that history.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm not against if PDJ or whoever is like, hey, we're just gonna have. It's probably the manufacturers that have to really do that, but if they're just like, we're gonna start doing it by majors.
Have you won a tour championship?
The first one, yes.
The first one, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in Vermont.
Yeah, because even the European Open, when I went over there the first time, I was like, this is an easier field than a normal disc golf pro tour event. Like I felt like I had a better chance of getting a top 10, top 20 at the European Open than I did at Ledgestone or Idlewild or wherever. Now, obviously, that's different. And that's where I think Worlds did feel a little bit different because it's like, oh, everyone's coming in for this major. But now, like, all the best players go to every major. So that's where it's like you're not seeing a difference there. And also, Worlds, everyone can sign up, right? They have like 200 plus people. So it's pretty much if you want to play in it, you can play in it. I'm just trying to find ways to make it the World Championship.
I just told you. It's a
point series. I mean, if you guys want
series, whoever travels and plays the most consistent.
No, Yuli, that was the worst idea of everyone that said anything tonight.
How is that a bad idea? I feel like
I don't like that. I want it to be. I'm with Paul. I want it to be an actual tournament where you're showing up and
then it's never going to be the same.
And you're playing.
You're just going to be.
Well, if you
World
did it every
championships
2 years,
or bust.
If you did it every 2 years,
then it's even going to be more world championships or bust.
Or if it was at the end of the year, I like the end of the year. I think that's a fair compromise we can all agree on. It's the final tournament of the year.
I think the only downfall of the end of the year is you're going to be stuck to a few places where you can host it due to weather.
Just call the USDGC the World Championships. There you go, bang.
Or why don't can we move the USDGC in a different time slot and then put it?
It's owned. They run at that time because that's when the school's not in session. They're on fall break, so that's why it's always empty when we're there.
Hey man, I just went there to practice today. Not playable.
Wait, why not?
It's not playable. It is in the worst shape I've ever seen that property ever in my life. The grass is up to, it's literally higher than me. I'm not kidding. It's insane. It's sad. It really is. Yeah. Whoever owns it
Well, it's not like it's not supposed to be playable year round, is it?
Yes,
I thought
a couple holes.
That's how they keep you from getting ready early, Yuli. You can't be doing that.
No, for like the last few years, they cut it all the time. They had the rocks that they put in, and then it kind of showed you where the OB lines were. So that was awesome. And then I don't know what happened, but they just said like
someone probably got fired.
No, it was the mowing. Like it was too expensive to mow it, and so now the school doesn't mow it, and whoever owns it doesn't mow it.
Get out there with the mower, Yuli.
I was gonna say, Yuli, you just said you have a mower.
Dude, how funny would that? I get kicked out. I'll go to jail for trespassing.
They kept
for cutting their grass?
Huh?
For cutting their grass? They're gonna say thank you.
You think? I'll go out there tomorrow and mow a couple holes, man. I need to practice. I was excited to get out there.
But, playing in tall grass is the worst.
They mow the little dinker, the Winthrop Meadows. It's mowed. All the fairways perfectly mowed. The best major we have, dandelions.
But yeah, I'll go by 17-time major champion if that's what you guys want. If that's where we're going.
All right. Yeah,
I would agree with Paul. 17 does sound better than 6. So
yeah.
All right. When you put this later for post, just put 17-time major winner.
Yeah, exactly.
We had him on here.
That's what's gonna get all the clicks. Okay, let's talk about this because this was a topic of discussion last week. We had Gannon on. He was talking about how he's feeling that he's been targeted by Marshall. I will scream until my ears bleed. I don't know what the saying is about pace of play and how it's a real big issue. This past week, I think we caught up with every card around hole 5 or 6, and we're just waiting all the time. Does disc golf have a pace of play issue, Paul? Like, is there a pace of play problem going on right now?
According to Gannon, you might be one of the guys.
Oh, me? Yeah.
No, not
you're on Gannon's mom's phone right now.
This is more broad. This is not targeted towards you. This is more of a broad question of, does disc golf have a pace of play issue?
I think there's a handful of players that definitely slow the courses down. Yes. And do they have a target on their back from the PDGA or some other players that might say, hey, can you speed this person up? Like when you look at the scorecard and you're like, why do we have a backup? You see common names on those cards that are slowing you see common names. Yeah. So do these slow players have targets on their backs because they're slow? Sure. Like, yeah, that's an obvious one. Like how many times do you have to tell someone to speed up? And I think Gannon gets it more so. He gets the attention from coverage. People are watching it and they have to click through a couple times before he throws. And I think a lot of it comes with not just his routine. His routine is 20 plus seconds each time, but it's the part that they don't usually show on the coverage is when you walk up, range find it, talk about the disc, grab the disc. Like that's all part of your time. So yeah, if you're saying him specifically, yeah, I think the PDJ or whoever's in charge, DGPT or whatnot, they do kind of go after him on his time. But I think there's some other players that, you mentioned me, like there might be 3 or 4 shots where I might go over 30 seconds to get into a hard spot, but I can tell you I've never taken more time in an open field shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that's because that's just, we've always had that clock on us our entire career. So that hasn't changed. So I've always had a quicker routine, I think, but pace of play.
What do you think about the 30-second rule? Do you think because I think people, including myself, maybe have misunderstood why the rule even exists. Like, is it to speed the player up or is it for pace of play for the whole entire course? Because those are two different things. Like if they want to keep us, at 30 seconds so that we move along and we get through the course fast.
Yeah.
Or is it to time us so that we have to throw every 30 seconds? Like, is it an actual player rule or is it a pace of play rule?
I think we always have to look at our rules to when we first started. We would play in 5 sums. So if there was no 30-second rule, who knows how long those rounds could take? We'd be playing 2 rounds a day. Yeah, sometimes. And then there's ghost cards. There's extra cards on it. You could have 23 cards on an 18-hole course. And that's just how it was, and that's how it was when these rules were made. So I think nowadays we're struggling with daylight. So yeah, pace of play is important, for a lot of these tournaments.
So my point is, lead card tees off 20 minutes before second card. You run into second card. Yeah. Who cares about the 30 seconds at that point? It's on those people. You get what I'm saying? So is it a player issue? Because the lead card, it's not their fault at that point. You're getting through as fast as the next card does.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or is it an actual pace of play issue? You know what I mean? Because I think when people watch on coverage, they go, Gannon's taking forever. He's cheating. And to me, it's like, well, is there 3 holes in front of him to where he is holding everybody up? And that is.
I mean, I guess I would answer that 2 ways. I would say, one, it's production. You don't want the camera on someone for 50 seconds standing there lining up a shot. Like that kind of, what are you going to do when you don't know when they're going to throw the shot?
Throw it to Brian. Tell him to say something interesting. That's an easy answer.
But like if they already have the camera on them, you don't want to just shoot off of him and they're still doing his routine when you come back. But the other thing too is, at what point is it an advantage? If this card can take a minute, but these other cards have to go under 30 seconds, then there's a competitive advantage there. So I think it is a pace of play thing, but I also think it's the same time you got to keep it consistent with every card.
So considering the rule, the potential rule change, or the rule change for next year with the addition of the 45-second add-ons, do you think, I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on that from some players saying it's going to be a dumb rule, it's never going to be utilized. Other players are saying this is going to be great, it's going to fix the problem. Do you think, if you had a chance to really look at it, do you think it's going to help the pace of play issues, or is it going to still be a moot point because you're asking players to be involved with the enforcement of the rule?
I don't know the rule completely, the new one that you just mentioned. But I think having more time is going to let people be a little bit more lenient. I know just for me personally, like I won't feel as rushed sometimes, and I might take an extra 5 or 10 seconds, which that could add, might only add 5-10 minutes tops to a round, but you put that on 25 cards and people that play at my pace are now adding 5-10 minutes more. Yeah, that could add up, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I never had an issue with the 30-second rule. I think it's a select few that are making this rule change.
Do you think as a product, because that's what you mentioned earlier, like you don't want to have a camera on a guy for 90 seconds not doing anything. Do you think the product as a whole would be better if we played our rounds significantly faster?
I think it'd be better if we just had more cameras out there and then just switch to another card somewhere.
Well, you also have to think, Yuli, too, about the live spectators too, the people that are watching.
Yes. If we played faster, I mean, you could look at baseball right now. Baseball is trending very upwards right now as their games are getting closer to, I think it's under 2 hours or close to 2 hours compared to 3 hours. It's getting with the pitch clock, now that they have the pitch clock. The players didn't like it at first. They got used to it. Now it's the normal. And it's much easier to watch a full baseball game because of the time. If we played quicker, maybe we might get more spectators at home, or it might be easier. Like, I mean, Brody, you're a UFC fan. I'm a UFC fan. I don't know if you two are, but we'll sit there for 5 hours, you know, just because it's a live event. We want to be there. And there are those fans. There's those dedicated fans. But for a casual fan to be able to watch, for an hour and a half or 2 hours, it's kind of asking a lot.
Yeah.
Well, then let's put it 20 seconds.
Yeah. Well, one of the best watches this year was the festival, because the festival had 2.5 hour rounds. Obviously, the course, we could talk about the course and like the ease of play and everything, but a 2.5 hour round became a much easier thing to persuade people to watch.
Yeah. So, you almost want it faster for that, but it's, are you losing the play? Are players suffering? I don't think so.
Yeah, and I think the speed needs to be more. There's two examples I have for you. One, I believe it was round 2. We finished hole 18. The card behind us was on hole 15. Yeah. So if you're sitting there on hole 18 watching cards come in, you probably have 30 minutes, 40 minutes of nothing happening and just waiting for something. So that's not great. And then the other thing is I agree. I don't think players' play would decrease, because I think a lot of the pace of play is not so much. It's two things. One, we have to get rid of bad players. So if you're 30 over par for a round, you have to get rid of it. And I know people aren't going to want to say this. The pace of play a lot of times struggles when we play on the same courses as FPO. I was the second card out the final day. The card in front of us was a threesome. We stayed with them pretty much for the first 4 or 5 holes. And I think by hole like 10 or something, they caught up with FPO.
Yeah. And
then to the point of where when we got to hole 18, there was like, they were backed up. We were backed up. The car behind us got to us. That is a big issue right now is FPO. If they slow everyone down, yes, they do have like those 20-minute gaps they're putting in now. So it's not, I think it's 20 minutes in front of lead card, and there's a couple other 20-minute gaps. But those get squashed very quickly when you just have people standing on tee pads. And so I think the other issue too, Paul, maybe you want to talk about this. There needs to be like a shift in like the casual disc golf or like the local tournament disc golf and like the pro tournament disc golf. If we all got pars on a hole, on a par 3, or we all birdied a hole, it's pretty clear that we all birdied it. When we get to the next tee pad, I don't have to pull my phone out and go, Yuli, what'd you get? Paul, what'd you get? Gary, what'd you get? Because like, even though that did take me 10, 15, 20 seconds, that's still over the course of a tournament. That's still a lot of time added. So I think there's a lot of stuff like that that's being done. People just taking forever to get off the tee pad. Like, do you think that's more of an issue, Paul, than the 30 seconds here?
Yeah, I think that, people will chat and not pay attention. Like, I think that definitely adds more than what 30 or 45 seconds can add. And then people not knowing, oh, am I out? Are you out? This or that. Where I think I'm one of the players where it's like, hey, do you want to take this? Is it you or me out? And I'm just like, I'll go. I don't care. Like, let's just go. I'm not one of those people that's worried about who's 5 feet closer or 5 inches closer. I'll just go because of the pace of play. I don't think it changes my mind either way if they're going or I'm going. But I do know what you're saying. Like, there are some players that come to mind where they just would like to sit and talk versus getting their disc and getting up on the pad or this or that. I do see the scorecard issue that you mentioned. Sometimes I personally am like, I don't know what people took. Like that guy was in the woods for 4 holes. Like, hey, Brody, what'd you get on this hole? Yuli, what'd you get? I couldn't pay attention to both of you guys because I was the one that was in the woods or whatever. So there are those moments, but
then you should get stroked apparently next year too.
Yeah, apparently that's a penalty if you don't watch everyone's shot, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. That's like,
because that's slowing down pace of play too. Like, you should be in the woods. You should be in the woods trying to figure out what to throw. Like, imagine on hole, what was it, hole 13 or no, hole 12, you had the crazy scramble out of the woods.
Yeah.
Imagine on that hole if you had like everyone on your card standing behind you watching you.
You guys should do a round like that and see how long it takes.
Yuli, we're gonna need you to come back out of the woods to watch Brody shot. Please.
What was it? Hole 4. Hole 4. I threw a shot from way back and just walked all the way over there. And then all I heard was like whack, whack, whack. And those guys were stuck up top forever, like not clearing.
Yeah, I know.
And then I just walked up. I had parked it. So I just walked up, tapped it out before they even got across the thing. And I was like, they were like, who was it? One of them was like, hey man, I could have stroked you for not watching. And I'm like, you didn't see me tap out, bro. I could stroke you too.
I know we're joking about it, but when I started playing on tour, guys, that's how people play disc golf. Mm-hmm. We would all throw our tee shots, and then whoever the shortest person off the tee, everyone would stand 10 feet behind their tee shot and watch their entire shot until it landed. And then we'd all walk to the next person. And I'm just like, what is going on?
That's the group slowing down the cards.
Yeah.
Slow. And I know some people are upset and they're saying this podcast has been great up until my FPO take. I just want to say it's not a take. It's facts.
Yeah, when you run into them and it slows the course down.
We got caught up with FPO on like hole 7 or hole 10. I can't remember which one it was. And we were waiting on FPO for the final round to the point of where on hole 18, the card in front of us was waiting to tee off. We were waiting to tee off. And then Luke Humphreys, who was behind me, his card was waiting to tee off behind that. Do you know what happens after that? It's just a domino effect of where everyone is just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So it's not a take. It's one of those things of where if FPO slows us down or MPO, whoever it is, it's a problem.
It's the same thing as MPO was going and FPO caught the MPO. There's no difference.
Yeah. Yes.
There was a card slowing everybody down.
Yes.
Yeah, what I'll say to kind of defend what Brody was saying is like Ledgestone, they have Sunset Hills, which the women love having their own course. Like that's the only course on tour that's dedicated to only FPO.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that we're saying where I think it's great that they're in the same city and that we're at the same, they can still travel together, but it doesn't mean they have to be at the same courses. You can have them at Sunset, us at Northwood, or them at Northwood, us at Eureka. Like where we're at different courses, but same tournament, same town. Like that works well too, to where we're not catching up to them and things like that. But
logistically too, if there is a playoff, they have to now jump into right
the MPO field. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like there's
stop the MPO course. Yeah.
Yeah. There's logistics about it. So,
I saw Cat Merch win her first tournament. Right there
in the play at Jonesboro.
Yep, I was at the gallery on Old 10.
All right, so our guy Edwin Stats actually came up with your statistics here, and he actually compared kind of your 2024 season to your 2025 season. So I kind of want to go through here. Yeah, so I can read it out to you, and so you can kind of see it and give us your take on it. So
4 versus 25.
Yeah, so this 2025 versus 2024. You got your birdie rate on there. You're currently 3rd right now. You increased your birdie rate this year by 17%. Your fairways percentage, we all know you're one of the best off the tee. That's pretty much the same. You're 6th in that. Your circle 1 in green and regulation, that went up almost 10% this year. Circle 2 in green regulation, 5%. And you're top 10 in all these statistics. Your OB rate, and again, I think OB rate's kind of tough because that can just be like course dependent, depending on if you're playing courses that have more OB. You're actually up 10% in OB rate this year. But the big one here.
Good or bad?
That's bad. You
want to be down in OB rate.
Actually, that's a good one I don't know. That's a good question for Edwin. That actually might be good.
I think it's a green up arrow, which means good.
Yeah, I think you actually are throwing less OB this year. Yeah. But the big one here is your circle 2 putting. You're up 44%.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I just have more mobility in my shoulder. So if you compare it to some older years, maybe 23 or 22, might be a little bit closer numbers.
And then we have what we call like our Madden rankings or power rankings.
I'm a 94.
And you're at 94 overall, which is the 6th highest out of everyone, which is surprisingly also you're 6th right now in the Disc Golf Pro Tour ranks. So that's right on par there. And you're 96 for scoring, 95 for power, 93 for accuracy, 88 for scramble, and 93 for putting. Any of those stats jump out at you? Anything should be higher? Anything should be lower? What are your thoughts on that?
I just need to bogey less and all the stats will go up. I think that's the biggest thing.
Less bogeys for sure.
Yeah.
Which you did pretty good job at Idlewild. Of course, that's very easy to pick up bogeys at.
3. I think I had 3 bogeys, 2 or 3.
Yeah, which is crazy impressive playing that many times through that.
I think a lot of it
by 15 or something.
Dude, I had to have only 2 or 3 because Gannon had 5 eagles.
Yep, you had two bogeys and no double bogeys, but don't.
5 eagles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 of them I saw.
How happy were you to see that that his tee shot wasn't parked again on hole 1 starting the day?
Well, so
that must have been a little bit of a breath of fresh air to be like, okay, at least he didn't get this one.
Yeah, the wind was so swirly the final day. I kind of had a feeling. I didn't think it was going to burn over that much, but I didn't think he was going to park it. But it was, it was very tricky start. That was the hardest start, like first 9 holes of any of the 3 days, just because of that wind and those open holes.
Yeah, because there was like no wind the first 2 days.
All right, set your card. USDGC final major of the year.
Who do I think will be on it?
Yeah, who do you want to battle with?
Oh, who do I want to battle with?
Yeah, like so set the card.
You want a fun card? I would just
no. I'm saying like your dream.
He's like, I'll put Brody on there.
I'll jump.
Gary made lead card.
Can go on. We got the call.
I'm saying everything works out perfect, and you're going down the stretch, and let's say it's within 2 shots between the whole card. What would be the most gratifying win? Who are the guys? Because you don't want to just like
definitely
have a bunch
I
of
would
floppers.
Yeah, Gannon, Rick for sure.
Okay, Rick doesn't have one. That's a good pick.
No, but we have history, so that'd make it fun.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's never won a US. Who else? This is anyone, or is this like in the field right now?
In the field. That's
going to
be
who's going to be there?
Maybe a sneaky European.
Ooh, a Niklas.
I mean, that would definitely bring a lot of eyeballs. Niklas, he'd be a good fourth. He would be a good fourth, but I don't know why. But Schustrick, I just want Schustrick to be on that.
He'll be in the
I
field.
think he's going to play everyone he can. Yeah, I think he'll be in the field.
Oh my gosh, you're right though.
I don't care if he's
Schustrick was
lefty
in the
or
mix
righty.
somehow, that would be wild.
Yeah, but Niklas would be a good one because he beat me head to head earlier this year. So I'd like to get that back.
I saw Will. I don't know if it was last year or I don't think I was there last year, so it might have been 2 years ago. I saw him throw on hole 3, and I was shocked. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It is.
He was
I don't
crazy,
know.
man.
I don't know what his game is right now, but man,
it used to be very similar to Gannon. Like it was almost watching the same thing, but just a little smaller frame.
Well,
more of a normal size frame.
He tried to mirror his game after Schuster. That was his favorite player.
Yeah. So like Gannon now, I mean, their careers are very similar. It'd be interesting to see their stats side by side. I think Schustrick might have been a year older when he had all of his stuff, but he was pretty dominant. Very similar. I think he was 21. At similar skill level as what Gannon is right now.
There's something about his reach back though that
Schustrick now.
When I watched him throw,
it's nothing like it used to be.
Well, it was probably even more crazy because like I watched it and I just was like, oh my gosh, it just came out like a rocket. It was incredible.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah,
it landed.
I don't think we're talking about the same things here.
No, I'm saying
in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yes, on hole 3. On hole 3, his disc landed in the gap.
That's good. Yeah,
in the hillside.
Listen, when he used to throw back in the day, Brody, it was a different sound. The disc would like speed wobble and it would go.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Maybe go watch it. Yeah, go watch like what was it? W.R. Jackson, whatever tournament that was. It wasn't Champions Cup.
He played at W.R. Jackson?
The PDGA Championships.
Yeah. Did he win it?
What year was that?
I mean, he was battling with Ricky.
It was in early teens.
They got some coverage with him out there.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look.
Or some of the European majors. I think they do have coverage of the European major he won.
Yeah. Just ask Gannon. He watched all the videos.
Does he throw like Gannon or does he throw like AB? Because like Gannon doesn't look like he's trying to throw far. AB when he's trying to throw far looks like he's trying to throw far. Where is he when he was back launching the disc?
Very similar to Gannon. Very similar. I'd say maybe a little bit straighter reach back. He had a real slow lag.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was doing like he didn't look like
he went after it, but he had a smooth shot that went really far, and he
smacked it.
Yeah. The biggest difference is their putting is the biggest difference, but very similar game style, throwing form, body types. But yeah, very, very similar. Very similar. And they both exploded young. Like they both came up and started winning very young.
And I think
Schuster,
the same like demeanor too.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
way
I
that
think
they
Schuster
approach.
won. What did he win his US at 18, 19?
I think
Maybe
he was
17?
17.
He might have won. Yeah, he won USDGC at 17.
Jeez.
He won it before he won a tier.
Yep. Yeah, so he was 17 when he won.
What do you think about all these kids putting with mid ranges now? What's that all about?
Hate it.
I think, yeah.
Hate it, dude. I've been giving him crap on every time I see AB pull out his buzz. I'm like, dude, that's the wonkiest.
What? Yeah, what is that? Why are they doing that?
Well, because these baskets catch anything nowadays.
But like, can you just putt farther? Is that the idea that it'll go farther?
That's
yeah, I mean,
they're saying
yeah, you can put it further. I used to do it with some mids, some drivers sometimes, just because it's such an awkward distance to throw to where you can get an extra 25 feet with a mid or a driver. It's just those in between distances. It's just easier to kind of look at it face forward than kind of turn your body and do a throw. I mean, it's useful at times, but they do it a lot more than I think needs to be done. I haven't seen them make one yet, but it's an easy way to lay up.
Using it for up shots, like
like I did one at Idlewild,
Yeah, there's like 180 out. They're like, oh, putter,
yeah, but you made it from the
mid-range.
distance that they freaking are throwing that stupid mid range from.
Yeah, that was my putter.
It made my heart happy. Oh, he putted it in there.
Yeah, it's useful. I usually do it actually surprisingly on low ceilings. Like if I'm in the bushes, I'll pull a mid just because I might catch a leaf or two. I know the driver or the mid will
a little bit more.
Punch through the leaves a little bit better. Yeah. So,
okay.
But they do it on wide open ones.
I forgot to mention another statistic here from 2024 to 2025. Your average finish in 2024 was 20.1. Your average finish this year has been 11. So definitely more consistent, definitely more towards the top in contention, a lot more this year. So big, trending upwards.
Yeah, and I think I only have only four tournaments outside the top 10 or 11. I think only 4 tournaments.
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
And I think obviously, I think after this win, I think too, you've kind of jumped to the top of a lot of people's favorites for USDGC, the last major. So that should be fun. Do you want to talk a little bit about your foundation, how people can kind of support that, and maybe what's the future looking like for that?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, the foundation's doing great. Paul McBeth Foundation, for anyone who doesn't know, we're trying to spread disc golf all around the world, get it to places that have been underserved in some way, whether it's they have no knowledge of disc golf or they've never had the funds or materials for disc golf, whether it's disc baskets or just kind of the community to help their local organization or local departments, parks and stuff like that to bring disc golf. So we kind of try to help move that process along. But we do have something really fun coming up September 20th. It's called Throw for More, which I don't know if a lot of people remember, like walkathons or jogathons that they had in school. You could kind of have someone or a kid and sponsor them to do as many laps as they could do. And you could kind of sponsor them, for a certain amount of money for every lap they do. And we're kind of doing something similar for disc golf. And UDisc is being a part of it, and they're doing 10 cents for every hole that is played on September 20th. They're donating 10 cents to every hole. Or it might be round.
It's round recorded on UDisc.
Sorry, it's round, yes. So our goal is 125,000 rounds across the globe on September 20th. So that's our goal. So I'm playing a lot of us will be playing in Vermont on September 20th. So we're going to play at least 18 holes. So if anyone wants to jump on my team and sponsor me for those 18 holes, whatever, 10 cents, 25 cents, whatever goes a long way. Or if you have a friend that wants to play as many holes as they can on September 20th or create their own group to be a part of Throw for More. We want to grow that big and hopefully make it an annual thing. But yeah, you can sponsor me.
Where can they go to do that?
Just paulmcbethfoundation.org. We're going to have, let me double check real quick. It's not going to log me out, right? I want to make sure it's.
No, you should be fine.
All right. Let me double check, make sure it is.
And we can probably throw that, Mike, if we can throw that link up on the screen too for those that are watching.
Yeah, there is a website,
as
throwformore.com, it looks like.
Okay, that's it then. Throwformore.com.
Mhm.
I don't need to look. You got it.
There. Oh, throwformore.com. There we
Oh
go.
my
Yeah.
gosh, my dog just scared the crud out of me.
So yeah, you can go on there and sponsor your favorite player, sponsor a friend, or whatever you want to do. But we want to get, maybe you want to be someone that wants to play as many holes as you can in 24 hours. You know, that's something I'm willing to jump on. If someone says they're going to try to do a 24 hours worth of playing holes, I'll jump on that. You know, as many people that want to do that. But yeah, we want to get 125,000 rounds on September 20th, and hopefully you guys want to create a team too, and kind of make it competitive or something. You know, there's ways to build your own team.
What's the most holes you guys have played in a day?
Shoot, when I was a kid, from sun up to sundown, buddy.
Yeah.
You still don't even know how many?
No clue, but it was a ton. I grew up on like one of the shortest courses in the world, so I don't even know how many.
Well, we used to play team challenge, and that was a minimum 70 holes, and then we'd have to warm up. So we'd probably be hitting 100 on those days. Yeah. So
we have a local marathon event around here that does, I think, 9 rounds in one day, sun up to sundown.
So rookie numbers, my man.
Yeah. So it would be safe to say I've done over 100 in a day, but unfortunately, September 20th, I'll be competing. So
might not be the best idea.
18 holes, but that is the one thing. They do have to be logged on UDisc for these to count. So because that's where they're going to track these numbers and these rounds, and UDisc is there's unlimited amount that UDisc is going to donate. So however many rounds we get in, they're putting 10 cents to everyone. So the more the merrier for disc golf in general. So
September, what was the date on that again?
20.
September 20th. Head over to throwformore.com to check that out. Since this is your first time on the show, we got to do the fans' favorite segments, which is pet peeves.
Okay.
So this is where you can basically, it's open-ended to anything.
Mid-range putts.
Obviously disc golf related, but it can be on the course, off the course. It can be about anything that just really grinds your gears when it comes to disc golf.
I mean, first thing that comes to my mind is people that use rangefinders and are very slow at the same time. They just seem to add so much time. It's like you can use your rangefinder when you're walking up. You don't have to step up to your mini or your lie, range it, and then go from there. Like,
hey man, I was sponsored by him, and I always thought that it should be illegal. I think it should be something you use before the tournament.
100%.
Log your things. That's why you have a caddy. Have a little caddy book finally.
Well,
be
and
able
have
to
your
use
caddy
those numbers.
You have them do it during the round, but don't slow you down.
Yeah.
So it does fall on pace of play as rangefinders.
Some people are also just bad at using them, so I think that's what they're just up there, just like clicking away when it should just be a quick little click and go.
Yeah, but that and headphones are another one. I haven't played with anyone recently with headphones, but it's been nice. Headphones are. I just think we should have to deal with our own emotions and play and have to be in that environment, because you can throw something on in your earbuds and it can change things. But rangefinders and earbuds, those are my top two.
Yeah, I feel like the headphones has definitely fallen off more. And shame is a very powerful tool, and I will continue to shame people that wear headphones. And I think everyone should shame people that wear headphones to continue to push for no headphones on tour.
Yeah. I mean, because golf is such a mental battle with yourself, with others, and all that stuff. So you should have to deal with it like all of, the rest of us. And that's it's weird, but I think that's part of golf is the mental side. That's a big part of golf.
100%. All right, Yuli, you got the final question.
Out of all the players that you play against right now, who do you look at what part of their game, could be anybody, and you look at it and you go, man, that's nice. I wish I had that.
I don't think anyone has a different answer besides AB's distance.
It's a common one.
It's a very common.
All right, so I got a different question. How do you like the Broncos this year?
It's promising. It's very promising.
Do you like Bo Nix?
I do like.
Are you
Bo.
a fan?
I do like Bo. I don't think he's going to have the sophomore slump. I think he's too old to have that. and he's got all his experience from college. But I'm looking forward to it. It's hard to do. Their defense is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, his sophomore slump was like 4 years ago.
Exactly when he was a sophomore.
You will be happy, Yuli. My wife did pick Bo Nix without any assistance for her QB this year.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you guys are talking about.
Did he get it in the first round? No, just
No. I think like round 6, round 7. So
all right.
You don't want to ask about the Raiders acquisition?
Oh well,
Acquisition or draft pick?
Broads.
Acquisition.
What about the Raiders?
Kenny, you didn't see that Kenny Pickett?
Oh yeah,
Kenny Pickett, tiny hands.
You didn't see tiny hands Kenny
Mr.
Pickett
Two
coming over
Gloves.
for the backup position?
Hey, dude, he won some games for us. He won some games.
As long as he's got his gloves on, he'll do all right.
Oh my
His sticky
gosh.
gloves?
Gary, do you have anything else that you wanted to hit on?
no, I'm good. But if and when you win USDGC, you coming back on the pod to talk about it?
I'll come back whenever you guys invite me.
You got it.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate you, Paul, taking the time. Yuli will say your 17 majors is your most impressive stat, but I got to say only two-time winner at Idlewild, up there. That's got to be up there to be the
Well,
first.
that's one of one. No one else can say that.
Yeah, no one else has that title, so that's impressive stuff. Congratulations. Have a fun.
Is that what the trophy looks like?
I've retired from trophy ratings.
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't.
That basket's about ready to bolt.
I don't do trophy ratings
It
anymore.
did spit that propeller out after that picture.
It's over, guys. I'm not doing it. It's not happening until we get another Evelina Solonen trophy situation. But we appreciate you taking the time.
Yep.
Have a great off week. Good luck at D-Glow, brother. And it was good talking to you.
Yep, you as well. See you guys.
All right.
See you, Paul.
There you
Thank
have
you.
it. Paul McBeth, ladies and gentlemen. Good little interview there. Good little interview.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, it is a little bit late. Yuli, I know. Do you have a little bit of time?
I do.
I can run through this real quick. So real quick, let's just go down the leaderboard. Gannon, guy's a robot. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the guy. Just an absolute robot. It's if there was going to be a tournament where you're like, oh, he's outside the top 10, like this was the one, because it is, we're going to see a lot of people that are very good that didn't cash. And the dude's a robot. He's the only one that's, without Gannon here, Paul wins this tournament by 4 shots. Probably more too.
And probably more. Yeah.
Because he probably isn't like that whole 17 shot. That was like a very nervy, safe shot. Yeah. I mean, Paul probably wins by like 8 if Gannon's not pressing, right? So Gannon's just a robot kid. Really good to see Cole Redalman.
Yeah.
Someone that's been struggling a little bit with the hip injury, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And so it seems like he's starting to get back into form a little bit. So really nice to see. Kyle Klein, Yuli, you nailed it on the head. Dude might continue to be the most underrated player on tour.
For sure.
Like, it's just, he's so good and no one really ever really talks about how good he is, I guess.
You got to win these days, man. You got to win a bunch.
And he had a stretch too. I don't know if you guys were watching, but he had a stretch where like he was really struggling. He missed some putts, threw a couple shots, had 6 holes in a row where he just made all pars. Yeah. And he still finished in 4th place.
He's had a couple close ones this year. On tour, 2nd place at the Open at Austin, second place.
He should have won that.
Northwest.
He should have won the Open at Austin. That was the worst putting display I've ever seen from a professional in my life. In my life.
It was tough
for somebody who took 2nd place. Like, he could have won that tournament by 20.
Yep.
No, I'm serious. It was crazy.
And he took 2nd at Ledgestone. So he's right there.
Yeah.
Chris Dickerson decided to just birdie every hole in the back 9. Basically, he went 8 under through 9, birdieing hole 11 through 18, finishing in 5th place. Calvin had a good finish, and we got to shout out Raven Newsom. Really great tournament by Raven Newsom.
Yeah. He also finished very well.
Yeah, really, really solid finish, finishing 5 under par. Really, really great tournament for him. Andrew Miranda, This is a name to keep an eye out for. I got to play with him first round. Really solid overall game, Yuli.
Oh, he's good. Yeah.
Really solid overall game. Some solid stuff. Zach Arlinghouse, the hometown kid. I don't know what it is about this course. He plays it really freaking good, it seems like, every year. Yeah. Good stuff for him. And then finishing out the top 10, you got Gavin Babcock, Colin Bryant. Do you guys know anything about Colin Bryant?
Played with him. Cool kid, nice kid, and got the whole package. Sidearm, backhand, putt. Good I mean, I was really impressed with his mental game. He was just calm, cool, and collected the whole time. Had his dad on the bag. Cool guy as well.
Just another kid coming up, huh?
Yeah, really good.
Simon Lizotte, great performance by Simon, finishing the top 10 with Kevin Jones there as well. And then we got Yuli, Isaac, Adam, and Buckets all at 14th. Pretty good little grouping of guys there, Yuli. That's a good grouping to be with. Solid top 20 guys, top 15 guys. Mm-hmm. Some other names I wanted to shout out. Who else were there in here? I mean, this tournament's so interesting because you just get people that you don't really see that often up in the leaderboards. You know, like a Nathan Queen, really, really solid player, but a lot of tournaments, the distance is just too much for him. He finished top 21. You know, he's able to throw his backhands out there, and he's a really, really solid putter. Casey White also goes 8 under through the last 9. Crazy finish for him. And then where's my guy? He might not be my guy. He might still be Gary's guy. Wait, did he fall off a little bit the final round, Gary?
Yes, Jesse.
Yeah, he did.
He had a tough final round. I like how he had a great bounce back, I think, in the second round after coming out with some nerves. I mean, being your first time on a lead card at an Elite Series event and you're sandwiched between Paul and Gannon, that's tough. But he had a good bounce back, and that shot on 16 from the field, though.
Yeah.
Crazy
shot. He actually got to play. He played through us during our practice round. So I got to talk to, I talked to him a little bit because when he first played through, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. And then Ezra started talking about him being like, I played with that kid. Kid's really good. And I was like, oh, you're Jesse. I was like, is it Jesse or Yessie?
Jesse.
Okay. I didn't know if he had like it sounded like you were going with like a European pronunciation there. Yessie. But yeah, super solid kid, super solid. And playing Iowa for the first time.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a learning curve on this course.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, this course, you're going to see big names, AB, Joel Freeman, Ezra Robinson, Gavin Rathbun, Vino, Benjamin Callaway. These are all guys that did not make the cut. And I think a lot of that too also has to do with the fact that there's only 100 people in this event.
Well, and the scores that took to cash were pretty impressive. 555 did not cash.
Correct.
And I shot 788, which isn't far off of 555, and that got 14th. So the spread was really tight. Yep.
Very clumped. Any other guys to shout out there? Kyle Klein had a really nice throw in. That was pretty sweet.
I mean, the Gannon throw-in was nuts.
Gannon throw-in was absolutely insane. I like the delay reaction too. I thought that added a little bit more. Was there anyone else though? Any other shout outs you guys want to give from MPO?
No, I think so.
All right.
I just checked though real quick. The cash line was at you had to be 9 under last year. So that's a 6-stroke improvement.
And the weather was good this year, Yuli. It wasn't very windy. And also they did increase some of the tee pads.
Yeah.
And
they cleared out a lot of the fairways. I mean, people are getting better.
Hole 10 was a lot easier because they put that FPO tee pad in and cleared up that right side. So the course definitely played a little bit easier, but I don't know if it played 6 shots easier.
No.
All right. Owen Scoggins. She comes on the podcast.
Actually seven shots.
7 shots. You're right. Owen Scoggins comes on the podcast last week, tells us you better pick me, goes out there, wins by 7.
Yeah. I made a joke. I made a joke that this event should be called the LWS Own at Idlewild, because I think if you look at the last 4 years, nobody has played this event better than she has, because her last 4 years, oldest to newest, second, first. So
wow,
this is kind of her event.
All right, we've got D-Glow, we've got GMC, and we got MVP coming up. How many of those does Own win?
Depends on the fields, first of all.
Yeah. D-Glow will be the softest field, I think, of the three, because you're going to have a few Europeans are going to be back. But
hey man, she's going to get mad, but I don't know about D-Glow. That's a big course.
She won last year.
23.
Or 23. She won
2023.
Yeah, the field was softer in 2023, of course, but she has performed decent at D-Glow.
I think she might get 2 of them. I think she
might
win.
Wins out.
I would you be shocked the way she's putting right now?
No, I wouldn't. That's the thing, is she's putting so good. It's just
her putting is insane.
Yeah, she went 4th last year.
She's putting so good.
I mean, she's making on average like 3 or 4. Yeah, she's making on average like 3 circle 2 putts. She went 3 for 5, 2 for 2, and then 3 for 6. Yep. So she's putting over 50%.
62% for C2 for Idlewild. And
she's making like
you can't beat somebody like that. And what about Circle 1? She's just making all those, or what?
75% for Idlewild.
So she's making more Circle 2 putts than she is Circle 1 putts almost. That's
crazy. Yeah, round 2. Something must have happened round 2. She went 9 of 15 from Circle 1. Not really quite sure what happened there.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. But Own takes it down. We have Alexis Mondahano, a name we haven't really mentioned that much this year on the podcast. I believe this also was her best finish last year. And this is someone that if the courses of FPO were shorter, this is someone that would be a top 10 player consistently.
Yeah.
She just doesn't throw far enough. On the bigger courses, she just doesn't throw far enough. She's playing behind the 8 ball, where she's going to a course and saying, I can only birdie 10 of the 18 holes. It's tough. It's tough to compete with that. But overall, her game is very, very solid. Ends up actually shooting 7 under the final round to finish 7 under, and moves up 12 spots into second. That's crazy.
I think that was the second round. She shot 7 under.
Sorry.
Nope. Sorry. Yeah,
I'm not even
Missy's round.
She got 4th. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I was looking at the wrong thing. She got 4th place. Everyone calm down. Yeah. But still, very good finish for her. Valerie got 3rd and Missy got 2nd. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was on the wrong round. Some other top 10 finishes. We have Jessica Weiss finishing the top 10, Katrina Allen, Allie Smith, Jennifer Smiley. So same thing on the MPO side as the FPO side. Some names that we don't usually see moving up into the top 10.
And a really exceptional performance from the FPO field this year, because last year only 3 FPO players finished under par for the event, and this year there were 9. And when you look at the improvements on the course, they changed hole 10 pretty drastically for them.
They made it a much better FPO course.
It's a full stroke easier on hole 10 this year compared to last year. So even though it's a full stroke easier, they still, as a whole, performed exceptionally better on the course this year than last year.
Yeah, Gannon would be jump putting his mid-range on hole 10 now from the FPO.
222 feet.
The only other thing I really want to talk about for FPO is Holland Hanley. I think that's the only other thing. You have someone that we were talking about on pace for having, one of those seasons that you're just like, holy cow, what the heck? And she is now fallen out of the top 10 again. What's going on here, Yuli?
I think this is the type of course where if you're on a bad streak and you come into here, it's just going to beat you up more.
Okay, so are we thinking like D-Glow is going to be a nice reset, a little bit more open, more distance?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
And we haven't heard anything about any sort of nagging injuries or anything like that from her.
I haven't heard it from the grapevine.
So just like kind of in a little bit of a slump right now and needing to try to get out of it.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Pick'em. Pretty good week for us here, or should I say for Yuli. Yuli was pretty much spot on with all our picks. Had we gone with Dickerson over Marweed, it would have been even better. But we took down 88 points this week, while the Grip Lock boys got 78 points. So we got them by 10. We picked the same FPO players, Yuli. Exact same, which I don't
nice picks from the kids over there, finally.
This tournament, I think this tournament was kind of tough to not pick those people.
Yeah.
And then the big thing is we just got Gannon and they went with Calvin.
Yeah, they took your pick that you wanted, I think.
They went Calvin, Isaac, Kyle. So they kind of did what I wanted, which was 2 of the $4 guys. But I think I kind of wanted Paul. I can't remember. But I did maybe suggest it. But maybe I didn't press it. All right. We'll have a week off and then we'll do D-Glow Pick'em for next week.
That's right.
All right. I thought this was a really interesting post from Disc Golf Fanatic on Facebook. If we can throw this graphic up, this is the 6 forehand grips. I did not know there were 6 of them. But I want you guys to tell me which ones you are. So we got the super finger, which it looks like your index finger's on the rim, and then your middle finger is like sitting on top of your index finger's
super finger
nail. You got the stacked, which I do the stacked. Then you got the split finger, which is the Nate Sexton. Middle finger is straight on the rim. And then your index finger is crooked. Then you got the 2 finger, which is like both of your fingers are flat underneath. And the side of your fingers on the rim. I actually highly suggest if you throw 2 finger, go throw the stacked. You would throw a lot farther. You got the fan, or what I call the peace sign. Index finger is separated, given the peace sign. And then you got the Andrew Marweed, the 1 finger.
Which is coined the 1 fingy by Kayla Visca. It's the 1 fingy.
The 1 fingy by Kayla Visca. Yeah. And then let's not forget, we got one more. We got the Raven Newsom. I don't know what we're calling this one, but there's actually 7 forehand grips. This is ring finger on the rim, middle finger curled on the rim, index finger underneath, also known as the Spider-Man.
What about the rock on?
I like the Spider-Man. You're kind of
you're shooting a web out there. Which ones do you guys do? What do you guys do?
I think I do I just put 2 fingers on there. I'm not sure. Let me see.
Are you you don't even know? Are you a stack? You're probably a stacked guy.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Well,
brand new Nuke OS right here.
Stacked, you're like your middle finger, like the bottom of your middle finger is pressed up against the rim.
There you go.
And the 2 finger, the bottom of your middle finger is like on the flight plate.
Yep.
That's so small. Where's your bottom middle finger? Is it on the rim? Yeah, I think you're stacked.
I think I'm stacking.
I think you're stacking it. Gary, what are you doing?
A little Ledgestone crystal flex Undertaker. I'm the old.
You're the split finger
fan. Peace time.
Oh,
split finger fastball.
I don't do
that.
I don't do a lot of like power forehands. It's not my forte. But when I gotta get a little bailout or something like that, that's why I go.
Hey, there was a time where I did another grip where I actually did the 3 finger grip because I hurt my knuckle.
Wait, what is that? Is your ring finger under there now?
Just the regular guy.
That's not even on here.
I know.
Have you seen the 4 finger power grip?
I actually threw it farther with this than I did regular. Lost some accuracy, of course. But I did that for like a half season. Nobody really knew. I just didn't throw a lot of sidearms. But when I had to.
I think that's something you don't really want to let people know. Keep that one on the DL.
Yep. But if I had the Spidey grip, I would have let people know.
We might have to try that. Just to see.
I got to feel what that even feels like.
Just to see.
That's been my whole thing the whole time. Maybe that's why I can't throw forehands. I'm not being used
like
to Spidey
that.
grip.
Like that move.
Yeah.
I think the knuckles down though, isn't it? If we look at the picture,
like
the
that.
knuckles down.
Yeah, I think it's that. Oh, you think the middle finger is like inside?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the middle finger is curled.
It's tucked in a lot more.
No, I don't even think it's on the disc, Yuli. I think your middle finger might be in. I think your middle finger might be like in your hand.
Yeah.
Really? So it's like this?
Yeah, your middle finger's gotta like touch your hand a little bit.
Your middle finger should be touching your palm.
Dude, I don't know, man. I think this might be the ticket.
Are you feeling it? That looks like it's gonna fall out of your hand.
Yeah, you can't use your pinky to brace though. You're using your
pinky
to
like
brace.
That brace, dude. I needed to tell a client.
Pinky out, man. Fancy, pinky out.
The 5-finger guy.
Oh my gosh! All right,
just throw this one in there. Let's do the whole thing.
Daniel goes
power grip it.
Daniel says, "Looks natural to me." Oh, brother. All right, we got an update from Kristen Lott here. She posted to her Instagram saying, "I'll be taking a step back from the hustle for a bit. My goal is to return for Throw Pink and the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. But before then, it's time to rest, heal my injuries, and regain some strength and clarity." So there you have it. We will not be seeing Kristen until the Throw Pink Championships. Yeah, a long time. But hey, if
do what you got to do.
If she comes back and she's the old Kristen Lott, I think we're all very happy with that.
I like that.
The Disc Golf Pro Tour announced a new tour stop next year. So the Disc Golf Pro Tour new tour stop is the Parc des Familias. Is I get that right? Gary? Parc des Familias?
I'm not your dialect coach, Brody. I don't know.
Come on now. Parc des Familias.
Familiar. I don't know.
Familiar. It's just outside of New Orleans. And the only thing I know about this course is someone told me that, or I think I saw a comment. It said, someone mentioned, or what am I trying to say? Someone posted on X to me. They said, I played it Sunday morning. It plays similar to Idlewild, but softer. I prefer courses that are tougher on the pros, but I also understand wanting tour stops closer to big cities. They're probably going to come in and make it harder.
Yeah.
Is probably what they'll do.
Right. They talked about lengthening the course.
Yeah.
All I know is New Orleans, Louisiana.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
There's a big untapped fan base over there.
Oh, heck yeah. I might have to go to that. I might have to try to go to that. March 13th through the 15th, the Big Easy Open in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana.
Can you imagine the crowd with Matty O?
It's one of the sickest names too, by the way. The Big Easy Open. I like that name.
Great name.
It's going to be fantastic for sure.
Yeah, should be a good one. So if you're in the area, definitely mark your calendars, March 13th through the 15th. All right. 2 questions here. One real quick. Have you ever played Ultimate with or against MKBHD? We actually never crossed paths. He was playing on like a smaller college team, I think, when I was still playing college. And then we just never really crossed paths in club. And then the other question was, and I think maybe Yuli, you can talk about this one too for you, because we did talk about USDGC a little bit. It says, Brody, after playing a couple tournaments, how do you feel about qualifying for USDGC? Have you progressed as much as you hoped at this point in the season? What will your training include between now and USDGC? So, Yuli, if you want to answer this first about just where you're at and how you feel going into the final major of the year a couple of weeks from now.
What is it, a month away? It's like right at a month.
I think so, yeah.
Man, I feel great.
Maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Is it like 6 weeks maybe?
We'll see. I mean, right now my goal honestly is have a goal. I want to make the tour championships, and that's a very lofty goal because I put myself way behind the 8 ball this year.
Sure.
And I think I'm sitting about 60 points out of it. I'm in 38th, 28 get in. So right now I feel like if I do that and I can make that goal, that means I'm playing well. And then USDGC will be fine. I've always played pretty well at the USDGC. So I don't know. It's in my backyard. Very familiar with that place. I like that type of pressure typically. Yeah, I feel fantastic. I wish I could get out there and play. I tried to go out there today with my wife and my daughter, but we literally drove in the place and it was just, I was like, wow, I can't even walk this place. Like I wouldn't even be able to walk a single hole on the back nine. It's just weeds as high as I am. But no, I feel if it were to start tomorrow, I wouldn't be going in thinking I can win, but I think I can get to that point. Moving forward, I'm trending in that direction. So
nice. Yeah. With me, it's odds are pointing to I'm going to have to try to Monday qualify to get in, and it's looking like we're currently trying to work out getting that round filmed. And potentially even having Gary on that round too. So it would be me, Hunter, Trevor, and Gary all doing the Monday qualifier, filming it, which would be pretty electric, I think. So that's what it's leaning towards. I mean, who knows? I could show up to Deglo and have a great couple rounds out there and qualify there, which would be awesome. But I'm not, expectations. I'm going into it just trying to have fun. That's my big thing this year. And I think it's working. Obviously, Edwin got to see some of the ups and downs a little bit of where, me getting pissed off, which I think still shows that you care a little bit, when you make a bad shot or miss a putt or something. But I'm just trying to go into these tournaments having more fun and it's just enjoying it. So we'll kind of see. But I will say if I get into USDGC, I like my chances there. It's a very big sidearm friendly course. My sidearm is feeling pretty good. So we'll see. All right. Recap for some of the foundation stuff, guys. The Limitless Star It will be dropping this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on foundationdisc.com. We also have our Zone SS pre-order live. So make sure you guys go there. And then we've got these pre-cock zones still. If you're trying to get a pre-cock zone,
get it while it gets good.
Gary's got one. FoundationDisc.com. Go grab yourself a pre-cock zone and be slinging that thing all around the course. Yuli, you got anything for the people?
Man, my same old thing, man. I'm loving my vestie. There it is. Pops up just perfect amount of time. I wear the Stormburst too, and I do high top and low top.
Which was Stormburst?
Which one is the Stormburst?
Yeah.
It's the one that everybody uses. I don't know. I think there's just like one disc golf shoe. Stormburst.
Gotcha. Yeah. Wait, who was wearing the brown ones?
Yeah, that's my caddy. Yeah, Brad.
Was that Brad?
Those Brad. Those are Stormburst. Those are the high tops.
Sick. Those were sick. I like that color.
Yeah, and then they have the low tops as well.
Gotcha.
And I've been wearing the low tops. I switch it up every now and then, but I'm absolutely loving them. I'm not slipping, and it's great grip. Fantastic. Very happy. There they are.
Oh wow.
Jeez,
Gary's got everything.
Have you worn them?
I have.
Do you like them?
I do. I stood in a creek for like 5 minutes and I did not get any moisture in. It's probably the best waterproofing on a shoe I think I've had. So they're pretty good. They take a few rounds to get beat into your feet real well and get comfy, but once they do, they feel fantastic.
Yeah, I think one of the drawbacks that I've heard from a lot of people is when they put them on, they feel loose. Like they don't really grab around.
Mine didn't feel
and mine, I didn't have that problem. And I would say to those people, like, give them a few rounds and they'll become your favorite shoe because that's all it took for me. And I absolutely love them.
Yeah. The first pair I wore were kind of already used because someone had to let me borrow them and they felt fantastic. So I'm trying to get mine to that point after a few rounds.
Yeah. And they've been so gracious to me. They've even sent me some like chiller shoes that aren't like made for disc golf, and they are super comfortable, light. Yeah, I mean, I've never been more happy with the product. I love them.
If you can get them to send a pair to PGA Mike, I'm sure he would not complain.
You got it.
Put in a word. Did we miss anything, guys? I thought we pretty much.
You have the Whatnot stream for Foundation tomorrow.
Yes, Whatnot stream for Foundation tomorrow. Make sure you guys jump into there. I'm going to be sailing the high seas this week on the largest ship in the world, so I'm excited about that.
Damn, cruise ship, let's go.
Yeah, me and Kelsey head out tomorrow, so that'll be fun. There's like a mini golf competition, Yuli.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take that down.
Try to take
that down.
You one of those guys who rolls up with his own putter? You're gonna pack your own putter?
No, because we're flying. So no. But yes, if I was going to like an actual mini golf, like if there was like a mini golf tournament that I was going to, I would 100% bring my own putter. 100%. If it's like,
I love mini golf.
If it's like drivable, yeah.
There's like a little family fun place half-mile from my house. No mini golf, but they're building a big building right now.
Oh, you're thinking.
And I'm like, could this be
now
indoor?
What type of mini golf are you though? Because I don't want all the glitz and glamour. I don't want like the big Ferris wheel. I don't want all this stuff. I want
it to be aesthetically pleasing. I want the classics.
I want like a lot of undulations.
The one in Vermont? There's one in Vermont, man.
Yes, that one's so hard.
That's sick.
The
one that goes down and up the hills and stuff.
I think Ezra or Judah might have broke one of the putters out of frustration. I can't remember. Ezra, don't get mad at me if it wasn't you.
Oh yeah, you did it on the one where you have to clank it on and it goes around the little.
Jeeves was there. Ezra was there. We all went there and played, and it was.
So that's not even the one I'm talking about. So 20 minutes down the road.
This is the one by the bowling.
No, I know which one you're talking about, and that one's super fun. The one I'm talking about is 20 minutes down the road towards Stowe, and it's on the side of like a hill, and it's like green grass that goes like there's some drop offs that are like 30 feet. Like you have to tap it, and it'll go down the thing and run around. Oh my gosh, it's the hardest place ever.
See,
it's amazing.
You'd love a place that I have near me. It's called Leisure Lanes, and all the holes are like actual golf greens turned into like mini golf holes with a fringe and everything. So you got to keep it on the green. It feels like you're playing on an actual golf course for mini golf.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Pretty sick.
Myrtle Beach has some great courses too. I like the ones that have different levels and you have to hit in holes. And I just don't like the ones where it's
like the ones where you have to hit it in holes.
Like the holes go into other holes.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta get from one hole to the next hole to the next hole. We gotta play some putt sometime. When we're all in the same location. Maybe USDGC. Maybe there's a good course.
Maybe this place gets built.
Yeah, maybe this place gets built.
And I don't even know if it's a thing. It might just be a storage unit.
It's gonna be a freaking laser tag.
Can dream.
It's gonna be laser tag, is what it's gonna be.
Hey, I'm no stranger to the tag.
Laser tag's fantastic.
This is how you do it. You just get into a corner.
Exactly, man.
Get a corner and you start. That's the ticket. All right. If we didn't miss anything, big shout out to there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of grips.
Big shout out to Paul for jumping on. Awesome interview. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We had over 2,000 people jump in. We still have over 1,500 people listening. Thank you guys so much. For those that are new, we go live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Foundation Podcasts, right here for Tour Life. You can all of our listeners on Apple, Spotify, all that. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thank you guys so much. And we will be back next week.
Love it.